ones.
No, but the thing is, T-Rex gone rogue, bombing. Nuke!
So that was the first question. If you guys think this is good or bad.
Bombing!
But also, there's the argument that
T-Rex doesn't pay taxes, nuke! That's firing squad, bro.
there's
Let's
also
just
going to be
learn
the
on
thing
it.
of like...
Welcome back to another Brother Complex podcast episode. Here's another Friday with us four brothers. What are we doing today? Oh, yeah. So we start with Chit-Chat because in real life, we haven't seen each other in a minute.
Yeah.
So we kind of just want to catch up on, stuff we've watched, but not necessarily have, no, we're not going to review it or anything. So we just talk about it a little bit. Then we do have some media news, mostly him. Just talking about stuff that's come out, like news about films. So I have some Marvel ones as well, but he might bring them up. Then we have a topic from Big Man over here, which, what's the topic?
There's no topic today. That was just in news.
Oh, I guess the topic is in news. I definitely didn't just wake up. Then we're reviewing Thunderbolts, that it just came out, by the time you're watching this, came out not too long ago, coming out maybe the last weekend. And then we go into...
It would be the last
Yeah,
weekend.
and then we go into GuessLink because, so where there will be a loser in that game, which will do a punishment. If you know already the structure of our usual episodes, you know how that works. It's a kind of a two-step game. We'll explain more the game when we get to it. But, that is the structure that we're going for today. Again, just to get the business out of it, please do subscribe. That's the best way to support us. We have been uploading across many platforms, TikTok, Instagram, doing all that. But the best way to support us is subscribing because, this is where our main content is. Obviously, we have YouTube Shorts, but, our heart and soul is these long videos, is where we put all our ideas, everything else. It's just this. So subscribing does help the most. Obviously, we have to do, we do have links in the description, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We don't really use Twitter. But, we even with the TikToks, because of the short form, we edit it to make it a little bit funnier, So do check us out, platforms if you can. But what does the best is subscribing. So if you could do that, everyone here would love you. So let's actually start with the episode. Chit-Chat, has anyone watched anything of interest that is not, something of reviews?
I rewatched a film, which was, in my opinion, is one of the best animated films, like ever.
We say that every episode.
Maybe like the thing is, like, in terms of pure enjoyment, probably still has to go to like Spider-Verse and shit like that. But I rewatched Silent Voice. I had to rent it on Prime, couldn't find anyone else, and it just. I wanted to watch it in English, but for some reason I couldn't. That's not really anything to do with the story, but I forgot how good the film was because I watched the film a while ago. So rewatching it, it just put so much into perspective how good the story is, and I don't think there's any other anime film, or even we can go animated overall, that has as a good of a plot as Silent Voice.
You're wrong.
So
There might be some that are on par, but I don't think there's anything that's better.
It's not even top 3, mate.
Silent Voice is good, but yeah,
It's not top 3.
It's
Not top 3 animated movies.
I still have to watch the one that
Moving
both.
Castle.
Yeah, like
I
well,
think
recommend that.
It's not even top 3 anime movies.
I think it is.
No,
I think it's better than Howl's Moving Castle.
It's not.
that's
Plot-wise.
not in a million years. Well, going
think
back
so.
on that, I've watched. I've been going through a bunch of Studio Ghibli movies. And I've watched. I think since last we talked, I watched Ponyo, Princess Mononoke, and Arrietty, all Studio Ghibli movies. Brother,
They're banging.
all of them really good. All of them obviously animation insane, and I'm going to put Princess Mononoke in the top 3.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
My top 3 best animated or anime movies of all time is Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away.
Silent Voice has to be
Without a
better.
question.
In what about Spider-Verse?
Oh, anime movies, yeah.
So you did say also
I did say animated, but you can't really put them in the same.
Bro, the Silent Voice
top
has
3.
to be up there. I don't get how you guys think.
It's not.
We
Top
should
5.
Spirit Away.
I prefer your name over Silent Voice, so I know you disagree with that, but I
Silent
put
Voice
it.
top
I might have to give Silent Voice another watch, but
What was
I'd
Spirited
put
Away?
Ride Your Wave over the Silent Voice.
Yeah,
I
same.
disagree. But right away is my top 3.
fair, I might.
No, but that's personal preference. In terms of plot,
That's why it's our top 3, mate.
Yeah. You can't arbitrarily say that Silent Voice is a better movie.
I can't because it arguably
Objectively.
because it objectively has a better plot
Then what?
than Ride Your Wave.
To be fair, animated
Well,
movies
just-
like this
just-
were never really my thing before. But for example, My Dress Up Darling was also not my thing, and then I watched it again, and I did really enjoy it. So I might get more into films like that. The only film that
Like,
I
the thing
watched
is-
was
Sorry, yeah, go on.
no,
Okay.
only film that I watched was Suzume. I think that's what. Yeah, which I no, I watched it. I
We're
didn't.
using dogs, man.
I didn't finish it. I do have to finish it.
in the background.
No,
It doesn't count. It doesn't
I
count.
do have to finish it, but it seemed really good.
No, to be fair, that film wasn't that great. At least
No?
Yeah,
Oh, you've watched it now.
So if you guys want to watch, especially like you,
I don't have the time.
well, he doesn't have the
I'm
time.
overworked.
I'm
at
overworked
this
as
station, mate.
So yeah, watch Variety. It's like it was really good.
Mess me all these names. I might
What
get
was
them to watch.
the-
Well, bro, just search up Studio Ghibli on Netflix. They're all there.
Can you remind me the Spirited Away? Because I've watched it.
It's where the parents become pigs, and
Yeah.
then she goes into the other.
Yeah, very good film. No
very
better
good.
than Sound Voice.
It's
A
top-
billion%
I'll probably
better
put it
than
top
Sound
five.
Voice.
Put it.
Might put it top 5.
Spirited Away is close to perfection.
Like now,
That's
now,
not
you,
something
now
I
you
That
just-
was good as well.
What,
I
you
don't know
think
if
you
that's-
think it's better than House Moving Castle?
I'll put House Movie Castle as only one that's first. But like Spirited Away is third place.
Bro,
And for
I'm
me,
not angry. Huh?
I can't remember if that's the actual name, but Cat, maybe? It's I don't know if you've watched it. It's the one where she
Cat is a musical.
she turns into a cat.
Whisker Away.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
watch as well.
when did you even
No,
watch that?
when
Huh?
did you even watch that?
I watched it with the farmates because one of them is really into cats.
fair.
Ages ago, man.
Still, maybe House Moving Castle does a discussion there. I think Sound Voice should be in top 3.
You,
and
you
anime
just haven't
films and
watched. You
film.
just haven't watched Spirited Away in a long time. Like you didn't even remember what.
No, I didn't get to remember what the movie was. I remember the
but
movie.
brother, rewatching it, like I still remember the movie. Rewatching it is insane how good that.
Yeah, but I could make the same argument for you with Sound Voice. What was the last time you watched it?
no,
Oh.
yeah, I know. But even if I watch it again, like I'm pretty sure I'll keep the same.
Pretty sure, brother. What of these guys' arguments? Pretty sure.
But to be fair, we're not making an anime.
Yeah,
list right
we're
now.
not.
So has anyone else like watched anything? Adventures?
Well, I've been watching up Merlin.
Marlon.
nobody gives a shit about
Oh,
Nobody
gives a shit about.
Well, it's been it's been alright. I've been enjoying like at least the dynamic between Merlin and Arthur. But there's a lot of
Shit show.
Well, I watched this. One of the funniest episodes was like with the troll that the king fucks the
Yeah,
troll.
I watched this.
We
when I
watched
was
it
like
a
nine.
while ago.
yeah, that was really fun.
Or like
Um,
12, but yeah.
And from my end, it's been that I started watching Bungo Stray Dogs.
Ooh,
elite
show.
Top.
Say not elite. Very good show. Very
Yeah,
good show.
because I was looking, because I finished, because obviously we watch stuff that's
Triggered.
recent to review on the podcast and stuff. And I always have something else that I'm watching as a secondary thing.
I'm glad you have time
And-
for that.
I'm glad you have
and-
so much time.
And before I was watching Dr. Stone and I finished that, so I was looking for something else that was like big to watch. Yeah, I'm just excited to start watching Bungo Stray Dogs. And
You watched anything?
I finished Berserk, the show.
Not the manga.
Not much.
It's a bit annoying. They only has one season, and it doesn't carry on from
There's
that.
no show that's fully completed.
Yeah, and even the other ones, the animation is quite different from the one that I watched.
But the other one is more critically acclaimed than the
Oh,
one you
really?
watched. Because the one you watch is the CGI one.
Yeah.
It's the one on Crunchyroll.
The animation, yeah, it's a little bit odd when you start, but then you get used to it. But yeah, it is a really good show. Fuck me, does he go through it, man?
imagine reading the manga. Couldn't be you.
I read it.
Couldn't
It's like
be you that
it's-
has a whole book.
It's like you have the full story. In your
He doesn't
head.
have the full.
It's
I don't
not
have the
sorry,
full
it's
It's like
probably-
it's a massive chapter.
Yeah, it's probably.
But it also, mate, it doesn't start from the beginning, mate. Like,
It does.
No, it
It's
does not.
chapter fucking
Starts
one,
with the
brother.
Black Swordsman.
it starts
With
with.
the Black Swordsman's arc. That's how the story starts.
So, the show is before
Listen.
the book.
Brother.
He starts without
this is the
spoilers.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he
for
starts
example,
without his arm.
okay, for example, in JJK, right? In season 2, don't they have the backstory with Gojo and Geto, right? A whole arc.
Or is that like
Where is
how.
it the
how
past?
the book starts.
Like-
It's the Black Swordsman arc where he's already an adult. He meets Puck, the wolf thing.
so okay, so I
That's
guess
how.
that's the start.
And then the second volume is the start of the Golden Age arc, where it's his whole backstory.
Oh.
The whole manga is finished and is out, and they've
not
organized. Oh, is it not
The
finished?
author died.
Well,
I kind of prefer
well,
if they start with the.
everything that is out is out. That's what I mean. And they've organized it all in volumes.
You know, it's still coming out.
and I've given you volume 1, which is the one
Yeah,
that
but
was
I-
written
I-
first.
Even though it might be that way, I prefer to watch the Golden Age
arc.
first because there's no point giving me Griffith, and I'm like, why,
no,
the-
it's
why the hell
because
do you
it's,
hate
it's so
him
you
so
know
much?
it's to set up the story, and so you meet Puck as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing in.
Yeah, they only show Puck at the end of the show,
it's
like really briefly.
It's the
of
same
the-
thing
the
with
first thing.
It's the same thing with JJK, brother. Like you only get to know the story of like Ghetto and Gojo like after a whole season, after 2 arcs.
Yeah, but for example, with JJK, for example, I would have. This is my opinion, but I would have. Don't know if hate's the right word, but I would have been a little tiny bit more invested on the relationship between Gojo and Ghetto if they had shown how close and the friendship of them.
Yeah, but
prior.
you only find out that
I know.
it's not Ghetto that is because so far you think the guy with the villain like Kenjaku.
Spoilers, I guess. It's in the season. It's in the season.
No, but I'm saying I would have been a tiny bit more invested if they showed how, just like this, they showed how the relationship of. But relationship of Griffith with Guts and how Guts was just an outsider and for the first time he made close mates to then his brother, the only friend
His
he
brother in
has
arms.
is just fucking
Just
his missus, man.
Oh,
You know Berserk's still coming out.
That is how it was written.
Like,
Okay,
Berserk-
is it someone else that's writing it?
It's like his editorial team is like continuing, but he comes out like one chapter every 6 months.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Well,
So, yeah, really,
and,
really good. Really good show.
And yeah, in terms from me, I think that's really the only it. One thing I was interested in, because for us to talk about a little bit in chit-chat, is this whole debacle about
Gorilla.
about Richard. No.
Oh,
About,
gonna bring a fucking gorilla against 100 men.
Oh my god, leave that for later, brother.
How is that news, to be fair?
But I love the TikTok of the. I think I've reposted all of them. Of the 100 members want to agree on that.
Give me a monster drink.
No,
I'm taking it.
send me 100 Martinez and then just a guy go.
we start with that. We can start with that, and fuck what I was
What was
gonna
the-
say.
what was
I was
the
just
thing?
gonna ask, like, what's the big polarizing thing about your opinions on Richard season 3?
Nothing.
Oh.
Shit.
I know, but like,
Well,
I just wanted to.
you watched Reacher season 1, right?
I watched season 1 and 2, and we were thinking about.
So I'll
talking-
start then.
I went. Sorry, just to
go
put
on,
into
yeah, of
context. We're thinking when season 3 came out, we're thinking about talking about it on the podcast, but then we had other
some
stuff to talk
nonchalant
about too, so we never ended up talking about it. And I was meant to watch it, but I haven't yet. And these two, and they ended up watching it, and they have like polarizing views on it. I've always liked Reacher. I love season
No,
1
you
and
haven't
2.
seen. Well, you haven't watched.
I haven't
season
seen
three.
season
So
I watched it for
it's a good. It's a watch.
I think
It's a
I think
lot.
you just don't enjoy good shows. I think Reacher season 3 is the best out of the 3 seasons.
No, I disagree, man.
Yeah.
I disagree. Reacher season 1 was really good. Reacher season 2 was Reacher season 3, bro, they're just glazing his physique, which I'm fine, mate. I'm fine
That's
with
the
that.
whole point of Reacher. He just aura forms.
Yeah, I know, but I'm fine with that. But what I found is some of the moments are forced for him to either be shirtless or to just literally
Tell me one.
show, like, mate, like, there are so many scenes.
Without really giving too much away.
Like, for example, when the maid is coming over and opens the door and she's just looking him up and down and going,
No, but that
like
was,
hope and
but
all that,
that's
mate.
with Reacher in season 1. He had a whole fucking shower scene with the
No,
with
but
the thing.
that's
Raw dogging the
but
police
that's
officer.
fine, mate. And he also had that scene with the
Thing.
little police woman.
He
mate.
didn't have any shower thing like that.
No, he just.
We didn't see bare
She
cheeks.
just suddenly, after she said, "Look, I do not mix business with pleasure," suddenly she sees a peck and she goes,
Yeah, she saw
Right.
right though. I
"That."
think that's
And
such a- that's
also,
such a
for
dumb
example, getting a bigger bloke than him, that was fine, okay, and the fight scene with him was fine.
Mm.
But then again, for example, at the end, being like, "You might have muscles, but you don't have the smarts," I found that a little bit
That's-
cringe.
That's the whole point. Reacher, he's big, he's strong. He's not the biggest or the strongest. But the fact is that if he goes against someone that's bigger, stronger than him, the way he can win is because of his like tactical knowledge in terms of fighting.
I
that's-
just thought the
that's-
other
that was the
seasons were
whole point.
better. And
Like-
also the dads,
Yeah,
mate. I think I could act better than him, mate.
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure that I saw him peek at the lines before saying the lines. mate. His acting was horrible.
I don't think I didn't notice anything. I think
I
the,
noticed it,
in
man.
terms of like detective work, in terms of how interesting the plot line was. I think this was the best season. I think Reacher has never looked better because he's bigger now.
Oh,
Pause.
pause.
He's bigger now. I mean that's
he
like
just gets bigger every
Oh,
season.
and also, mate, look, again, spoilers.
Well,
spoilers. They haven't seen it.
Reacher?
we haven't seen
What
it.
the fuck you show me?
Oh no, it's a little spoiler. It's not anything major. Which
He
is
died
like,
again.
they are literally professional investigators or police. I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure
Military.
they are. No,
No,
not.
they're
he's
not
talking about the other
people.
people.
They are like, let's call them professional investigators, right?
They're like FBI. That's
So you're not dumb. or technically you are a professional.
Okay.
Tell me why he did a little undercover thing, right? The
whole show.
the
whole
blow,
season.
the older guy, the police guy,
Okay.
the Indian guy.
Yeah. What about him?
And then later in the season, reaches literally with the sun, and he just shows up. He goes, "Oh my god, I forgot I literally got used for an undercover thing, and he's not supposed to see me."
Well,
And that's how the sun
he
realized
didn't-
everything,
he-
man.
No, because he didn't know that the sun was gonna be there. That was. Did you watch the scene? Because it was.
You should have been
It was,
having
it, was,
in the
it was
background.
Reacher and the woman, and then Reacher was like, "You did not bring the other guy, did you?" And she was like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, "Because of this." And then the sun shows up behind him. They
I
didn't
don't know.
know.
I
They
thought-
thought they were meeting Reacher alone.
I thought the plot wasn't that crazy, man.
I thought the plot was. The second season was definitely the poorest. The first season was alright. The third season was the best in terms of.
I love the first season.
The first season was very good, but in terms of plot wise, in terms of characters, I still preferred Roscoe and I still preferred whatever the other guys, Finley.
Yeah,
but-
well, the side characters of
Man,
both
like
seasons
Finley, you know?
were insane.
Yeah,
They were
I'm
so
saying
good.
characters on this were good as well. It's just the classical thing. There's a guy and then there's a girl. He just fuck.
Of course.
but-
It is kind of new on every
But like
season.
first season,
but that
yeah.
happens in the books as well.
Yeah.
But first season, yeah, he's aura farming, but he's aura farming in a way that it's not forced.
Look, I
In
still,
this one, mate, like someone says something, he gets his shirt
the
off
thing
for
is,
no reason.
okay, that's not true. I'm thinking plot wise.
Is that what you do?
In terms of actual plot, I think third season is better. Season one might be argued better overall.
We can't stick to reviewing.
No, no, yeah, but I was. You know how if it's not pew
I was
pew,
interested to see.
enjoy it.
No, but the
Is there
thing is,
only-
it is pew pew, mate.
Is there anything like chit chat you guys?
So yeah, so I mean, we can just jump straight off on the mini news.
I think I have something good to start off the media news.
Well, I think we just should start with
the gorillas.
So yeah, so 100 men versus one gorilla. Which side you want?
Change that to me versus 100 Asians, man.
I think.
Asian
Yeah,
takes.
yeah.
I think
It's
people underestimate.
back.
Oh, no, Asian takes.
It would
like
depend.
he said.
It would depend because it like are each side.
So yeah, so that's the thing. I wrote down like
Why do you have to make a plan then for the gorilla?
no, it's
Bro
because
has all the stats for the
it's-
gorilla.
He has a whole A4 piece of paper of how the gorilla is built.
it's because so I just thought that the only way we can make this a realistic argument is that if the 100 men are randomly selected from around the world, right now, 100 men randomly selected from around the world.
I say we go around and just say our answer.
So yeah, they have no weapons,
Of course.
Of course.
like and no clothes. I said they only wear the Tarzan like little floppy thing.
Let's go around like a bit like we do with
And,
swords.
and also the other thing is that obviously opposite scenario,
I don't think we should do that now.
no,
Like 100 random guys, because then it's more down to luck. I say we pick average guys.
no, it has to 100
That is
random.
random. Off the random, you're gonna end up with the.
No, yeah, but mate, if you put his
The average bloke.
89-year-old bloke going against gorilla,
No.
mate, he's getting dogged.
No, yeah, just go average bloke. To be fair,
Yeah, you could put accidentally end up with
Yeah, it's
170.
100 average people, but men.
Yeah.
It's 100 average men.
So it's not like you're gonna have fucking like.
And also like so yeah, there's nothing they can use. There's no tree. It's just plain
field.
terrain, and it is enclosed. So like neither the gorilla nor the people can run away.
Mate, 100 me, 100 me,
Let's go around.
It's a cage fight.
100 men, average men.
I know for a fact 100 me's got the gorilla.
But that's not what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't want you, bro.
I know you love to take it from the gorilla, right? 100 average men versus gorilla. Who do you take? Who do you think? Do you know? We can
Do
start
they,
with that.
do they have the,
I think.
do they have the indomitable human spirit, man?
They're humans, yeah.
But some
I
people
think
haven't
we
had
lose
that.
a lot, but I think we got it. I think 100 people.
So I've seen this argument online. It's
Just say your answers quickly. A bit like the scores.
100 men, 100%.
Give me the gorilla, mate. You guys are fucking.
Yeah, I do think the gorilla's got it, man.
Wait, the thing is, because gorilla's stamina apparently is horrid. Like
It doesn't matter, bro.
Also, gorillas aren't that big. An adult male silverback gorilla, 5 feet tall.
Oh,
Gorillas can-
So that's quite big.
Gorillas can bite through fucking trees, mate.
They can, and they have a very strong bite force, but it's still 100 humans.
But it's
do you think you
fighting
could
one
solo
person.
gorilla?
No, but
I
don't
don't-
be stupid.
I think I could solo gorilla, man.
If I had weapons,
A baby one.
No
A baby
weapons,
one.
man.
A baby one.
hands on, you want
I
me
think hands on. Okay, give me
He would bite your neck. if he does.
2 more of me. I think I could get a gorilla.
Silverback gorillas aren't
So-
5 foot, mate.
Yeah, on average, yeah.
I'll fact check
No,
real quick.
I know I did
Standing
fact
up.
check
No,
some.
but that's
So
all four.
these are the
No?
stats
Maybe.
of our gorilla. One adult male silverback gorilla stands at 430 pounds, so
Jesus.
around
That's fine.
195
250.
kg,
Okay.
195 kg, and 5 feet tall, and they can lift over 800 kilograms of dead weight.
Yeah.
So yes, they're very strong, but they're not very big.
They're so big.
Also, the only argument that I have for the 100 men is the randomness or like the average, whatever you want to call it, from it. Because realistically, in today's age, you won't be able to grab 100 people and they'll all be able to like go and fight the
Realistically,
gorilla.
the average person is not
Because-
fit or
Yeah,
strong.
exactly. Because who's gonna go in?
Me.
Because like obviously, if you get like five people from like a tribe in the forest, you best believe the gorilla's cooked. Five people.
Okay.
100%. But the thing, brother,
Hear this bloke.
I saw a thing.
5 naked youths from tribes fighting a gorilla.
There were a piece of news where 4 high school wrestlers wrestled a grizzly bear.
Did they kill him?
They didn't fucking kill.
This is to the death, mate.
I mean, the thing is, both sides
And
need
they,
to be bloodless.
they all ended up like fucked up. Like one of them.
Yeah,
was
but they
scarred.
survived, and it was a
They
grizzly
survived,
bear.
But this is not a survival match. This is a to the death.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
They
man.
ran away. They
the thing is,
humans
no,
got
that's
away.
not
That's
the
the
thing.
thing, though. Imagine being like, what happened to you? Wrestle the fucking grizzly bear, man.
I don't want to do that.
Did you win?
Grizzly bears are so fucking
exactly.
they're so
No, that's-
big.
Grizzly bear, no. But
Oh.
like the
We need to
gorilla.
make a show about that.
Listen, the only
Welcome on the pod.
the only thing that
That's
the
what
gorilla
I want to
has,
go. Is 1v1 the fucking
The-
ape, mate.
the only chance the gorilla has is whether or not the humans are going to be able to like actually stand up and do something.
The humans can't reach the gorilla.
Yes, they can.
First of all, a gorilla's
just
arm
checked
reach.
his height.
A gorilla's arm reach is way longer than any human.
It's
But we can surround them.
slightly longer,
It's not.
but they're also 5 foot.
their arms are way
slightly
longer than
longer.
ours.
Oh no, listen. Comparatively, yes, it's well longer,
But he is still 5
they
foot.
are 5 foot.
That doesn't matter. Like if he's swinging at you to a point where no human can reach him.
I know, but they can't swing at 100 humans at the same time, can they?
Yeah, but 100 humans can't fight him all at the same time.
No, but that's why you don't need.
And also,
you might not
mate,
even need 100.
Yeah, you could put 100 people there, and they're all scared shitless.
Exactly.
and
That's
they
the
don't do
only.
fuck
That's the
all.
only thing. Is like.
So we're
is that
saying
no one is going to go up to the gorilla first.
no. What I'm saying is, put 100 people, right? Seeing fucking red, mate. Like they're going there to kill the gorilla. Like they're looking at the gorilla and they're like they don't want to run away. They want to fuck him up.
Everyone's
That's-
speech.
Yeah, that's the mentality.
and
Because you
then-
could put 100 people and they're all trying to
No, yeah,
escape, and the
so
gorilla's
my
butt
argument
fucking
is that
away.
I think 100 people take it because at the beginning everyone was just going to be running away and the gorilla was just picking people off one by one.
Standing upright, they're 5'6".
Do you know what's my problem with all this?
So you're like a gorilla.
The probability of a human being able to hurt
I'm
a gorilla is
60.
very low.
No,
Because they don't have weapons.
They can just gouge his eyes out,
But they can inflict damage, brother.
bro.
First,
someone
bro,
imagine.
We used to hunt stuff in the
with
jungle.
weapons, brother.
No, but
Before we had
no,
weapons.
but no, our
Not gorillas.
No,
How do you think? How do you think we survived? It was we'd have to defend against predators as cavemen.
No,
Realistically,
Donnie, to be honest, our whole advantage as humans was always that we had numbers. So the thing is,
No,
you told me,
and that we were smart.
gorilla is dealing with man from 1 to 20. Man 21 is jumping on his back, ripping his eyes out. Gorilla's
Yeah.
going after he wants to.
Brother, it's like the thing is,
Realistically, how many of you can copy yourself? How many of you think you need to?
100. Me.
humans. That the thing is
Just me.
that my only argument is that they're not going to be able to go 100 just go straight up.
I think me and you got the
attack the gorilla.
man.
But human beings
I'll drop him off
cornered,
while you hit him from the
cornered in so human. What do you even say?
Because Pedro said me and you got the gorilla, and then Danny said I'll jerk him off while you hit him from the back.
He'll get exhausted real quick, man. Fucking tough as
I
mother-
think like people just don't understand the scale of 100 people, bro.
even I don't even think you need 100 people.
Oh, you're pushing it. You definitely need 100.
I don't think you need
We're
100
talking
people.
about a
You know,
gorilla.
100 people is like 3 high school classes, mate.
You don't
No.
need 100 people
More.
to defeat a
Bro,
gorilla.
high school class is like 20 students,
Listen,
bro.
human
Only because
beings,
you weigh as much as you
human
cause.
beings backed up into a corner and in survival mode, they'll do.
Realistically,
No,
being
the
dead,
only reason
being
why
dead
humans-
honest.
The only reason why humans survived is because, yes, the numbers, and 2, how smart they were. They never defeated predators, or they never go
we're so
prey.
smart.
But yeah, but here they don't have. It's an empty field. They have nothing.
You
They
can
don't
still have
They can't
strategy.
craft weapons.
You can still
They
have
can't-
strategy.
Why did this
First
whole
of all,
topic
especially
start?
nowadays, they're
Bro,
so-
just be like, number
thousands.
21, go bite his ball off. Number 22,
there's no
Heroin.
strategic mind nowadays.
heroin.
like the whole thing with our ancestors, the way they survived was like they would literally chase predators until the predator was or the prey was so tired that they couldn't do anything.
Gorilla stamina shit.
Realistically, I honestly believe 30 of me got the gorilla.
Human stamina.
That's not the
shit.
question.
No, but he has a point. 30 humans. 30
No, both me though.
30 adult males
Barehanded.
of humankind
No.
Well,
No.
can take a gorilla.
Average. I mean, the average bloke can barely lift their own body weight.
Well, you were talking. Listen, I do agree that the whole
I'm
argument.
thinking like this. I'm thinking of myself, just myself. 30 of me. Honestly, I believe
Yeah, but you're not average.
the 3 or 4 can hold an arm easily, and another 3 or 4 will hold your arm. So we're grappling. I've grappled you before, all right? Right?
You first need to be able to get 5 of you grabbing his arm simultaneously.
Man, we all jumping, man.
I think the thing is,
honestly-
okay,
honestly-
I'm gonna be honest. I think you're underestimating the gorilla.
Nah, 30 of
All
me,
of you
I
are
think we got the
underestimating.
gorilla.
I'm
man.
not, bro. But we're talking about 100 people.
Yeah, but it's 100 average people that they don't have anything to work with.
Well, it really depend on the sample.
And
Like,
listen, but if they're fighting for their survival, because if they notice, they're like, because obviously
I'm
first
gonna swing
instinct,
this microphone.
the
it's
first
fine.
instinct was going to be running away. So
No,
there's
man.
going to be people that are going to be picked off.
No, but I'm not. I'm saying, but that's the
But
thing.
yeah, but once humankind enters in survival mode,
That's so stupid.
it's not fucking stupid. There's no reason we
First of all,
survived
no,
this
not
far.
true. We survived because we were smart. That's why we crafted tools.
No, that's how we thrived. It's different.
No.
We had to survive
No.
first before we thrived.
I
What
think.
the fuck
I
is this
think.
guy talking about?
How do you think we're hunting and killing
That's the same
predators like
argument. That's the
this?
same argument as a, let's say, like a 160-pound woman seeing red and being able to fight a 6'7", fucking 300-pound guy. That's the same argument. We're like, oh, she's red. It's the same argument.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're saying they'll walk in because of survival.
I
I'm
think-
not saying they'll walk in, but I'll say in survival mode,
What's the in survival mode or seeing red?
it's because No,
How's the argument?
it's because seeing red is an argument to be like, I'm going to get stronger. I'm not saying they're going to get stronger.
He means in terms of like they're not running away from fear.
Exactly. Adrenaline is going to spike. It's be like, it'll be
Guess who else has the
fight or death scenario.
No, it also look.
And
It also
then-
depends.
and then if you have that and a few numbers,
I don't. I
like
think
humans take it.
If
30
you
people
put
take a
100
gorilla.
John Jones,
Okay,
right?
you're pushing 30.
I'm not pushing.
I think
you're,
I don't think
you're
30
overestimating heavily how, first of all, the average bloke is nowadays.
Look, if you put 50 John Jones, 50 prime Mike Tyson, they're having
The
gorilla.
average bloke nowadays can barely run a mile. Their stamina will gas out before the gorilla.
No, yeah, that's why my fight with the gorilla would be good because we both have shit on them.
I mean, it's like
We both gotta work on
if you have 100 average physical guys
Yeah, mate, they can
and
cut.
they know they're fighting to the death with a gorilla, I think they got it.
First of all, I don't think people
Because
are.
your argument is just
No,
what
but-
if they're
But that's the point. But that's the point of the 100. The 100 is to allow for those outliers to have a number. Because I would say 20 of those peak humans can take the gorilla.
The 20 is me. No, but
this guy?
you need like
get butt raped by gorilla.
realistically the 100. The 100. Yeah, the 100 wouldn't have any like. The only reason why humans tend to thrive so much is because they can form strategies. That's how they always thrive.
We can still form
In this-
strategy though.
But in this situation, you're putting a random 100 people. They're not going to be able to form any
Because
strategy.
we'll have a natural leader.
Well, so you don't think 100 of you would have the gorilla?
If it was like a hive mind thing, yeah.
No, but it's not
No,
my
no,
thing.
Me
Brother,
and-
you're,
and five of myself
you're
taking it.
underestimating human beings so much.
I mean, he isn't as well. But I think 100 we got it.
But that's
I think
but
100.
that's what the 100 is for.
Thinking the
The
thing
100 is to allow
Oh.
for those,
Mate, 5 of
I
you
don't know,
would have the gorilla.
30 to 40 people that are going to be useless.
Yeah,
to
say
be
that again.
just
Out of 100
they're
people,
cannon
out
fodder.
of 100 average blokes, about 80 of them are going to be useless.
Bro,
A lot
Like,
of them
in terms
will
of,
be.
in
like-
the world.
in the world.
If you're grabbing 100 average, like just averagely, you
I
just grab
disagree.
100.
You're thinking of like of the maybe like more civilized or what's the word?
Mate, if you walk, look, if you walk in
Like,
the streets,
What's the opposite of a third world country? Is it a
First
third
world.
world? Right, you're thinking more first world country scenarios like people, oh my god, you only know how to use your iPhone.
if they're
But we're talking about the world.
yeah, no,
dude.
you're the African people where they're struggling with famine will do better against the gorilla.
I'm
I
saying-
disagree with
mate,
that.
if
It
you-
won't be
If
80.
you walk in the streets,
They will have to survive in there.
Most people.
mate, yeah, if you walk in the
Average week,
streets
well,
and
or
you
not.
go, okay, let's choose him, because it's random, they're just walking.
You're thinking first world.
Mate,
I
if you
think- I
saw
think I
me, if
agree.
you saw me walking around with the tank top, you might think, yeah, a couple of them would
In the
fucking
world,
trigger.
I can promise you that the percentage of people that are going to be useless is going to be 10% out of the
Okay,
100.
no, but I'm glad you have
Maybe
a lot of
not
trust in your
10.
fellow humans, mate.
No, maybe not 10, but definitely not 80 either, bro.
But I didn't say 80% of the world. I said
Well, you said 80 out of 100.
Wait, are
What's the percentage
Are
of
we
that?
using?
out of that, yes, but
Yeah,
not
but
out of
if,
80 out of 8 billion.
but if the 100 are the average of
Are we using
selected
women
from
as
the
well?
world,
No.
No.
Man,
just-
men.
so the
Close.
yeah, what they say is
Because
guys-
otherwise, then if there's a woman involved, then it's going. If we're mixed matching.
No, like realistically, not like that, but
No, like,
Have you seen,
It's not.
this is a
Like,
joke.
don't get me wrong.
What
Mate,
about- no,
if
what-
we can pick the woman that we choose, then-
I'm unfortunately not editing this episode yet.
What I'm about to say-
he's gonna leave all
What
this
I'm
in.
about to say is a joke
Come on,
that
Brian.
I saw online.
Fuck
I saw someone say that like if it was 100 women against a gorilla, the woman would just speak about her problems with the gorilla and they'll make him want to kill.
That's
listen, I'm not saying
wow,
I'm not saying
strong.
100 men like they don't have a chance of being in the gorilla. I just think it's a thing of being like they're definitely winning.
No,
No, I think I mean it's
they
not
are 100% winning.
I don't know if you're right.
100 men are 100%.
By the way,
winning
you
against
can't
the
say there's no 100% of anything if you're gonna get nitpicky
Yeah,
about it.
nitpicky as well.
Because nothing's 100%.
And also, for example, my mentality is if I'm going in, right?
world. Well,
There's a 100% chance that
physical ones are 100%. How about that?
Not if you.
Actually, it depends on.
Multiple
It depends. It depends on certain scenarios when you go to.
Look, if it was, what I'm thinking is
Don't get
again,
me started. Let me
I'm
cook.
thinking if every person there was me, because I can't be to the random dot and be like, do you know what I mean? So if I'm in there and it's the ultimatum of I either kill the gorilla or the whole world is cooked, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a fist fight and then I go back to fucking uni, mate, and my mentality might be a little bit different. Mine is if I don't kill the gorilla, whole world is cooked, right? Done. I'm gonna go with the intention of I'm happy dying for the chance of stopping whatever's gonna happen from happening, which means
I don't get what scenario you're making. You're put into this, and
This guy always
you
woos
have to fight for your wife. Well,
Mate,
well,
this is 100 average bucks.
Realistically, the gorilla would take you in as its spawn.
no. But what I'm saying is, mate, is if there's 100 people,
you teach you his ways. to fight.
if there's 100 people, they're gonna be like, it's a little bit. I know the comparison.
Tarzan took a gorilla by himself. How
Yeah.
about that?
No,
not real.
The comparison's a little bit like.
cooked. No, she
What's
doesn't.
the-
Yes, she did.
She did. She does in the movie.
Oh, yeah, she does.
What's
Spoilers.
the,
Sorry.
spoilers for Tarzan. I don't know if people.
No, his dad
Physical
dies in the
hurt.
movie.
No, his mom gets cooked as
Mom,
well.
not real life. She doesn't.
She's in the rain.
Her dad.
No, that's his dad.
his dad doesn't show
His
up.
mom, his dad don't show up. His
His dad don't show up, bro.
You're gonna put money on it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna put money on it. No, okay.
Yeah, okay, his dad shows up. His dad shows up.
No, it doesn't. It's his
Mate,
mom.
his mom definitely because he's saying his mom
Well,
doesn't
his
die.
dad,
His mom gets cooked.
His mom gets cooked.
Yeah,
This is
no,
what
one at a
intermission
time,
to check
and his
whether
dad shows up because he gets captured. That he
the
frees
mom
him.
for sure dies. The mom for sure dies. I remember, bro.
Tarzan, who dies?
Yes, in the Disney movie, Tarzan's mother dies. That's I want you just search up if it is.
It's on tape as well, so you owe me the money, bro. It's for my trade ticket.
No, yeah, see?
Oh, they both die.
It's Chit-Chat that dies. In the animated movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bro, the scene where the mom's in the rain dying, mate. That's
Yeah,
Mom.
that's his dad.
No, that's
No.
Mumsy.
The mom's alive, bro. The dad gets captured and he
Yeah.
frees him.
I think they both died in the movie.
I think they might both die.
Right. Tarzan.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, while they search this up, what
We're
I
not
meant,
fighting Tarzan's mom.
while they search this up, what I
No,
meant,
his actual biological.
we were talking about the gorilla mom,
We're talking about the gorilla mama. Isn't that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah, but she dies in a fucking grain.
Yeah. Gorilla, it's Gorilla Mummy.
Tarzan, gorilla mom.
Search up Gorilla
Yeah.
Mummy Tarzan.
I just searched up Tarzan Rule 34. And that's some
Kawa
shit.
is killed by Kulonga. Who the fuck is Kulonga?
I don't know who's Koika, mate.
Yeah, Kawa, Tarzan's adoptive gorilla mother, dies after being killed by Kulonga.
Yeah,
the
you
native hunter.
Oh, but his dad dies as well.
They all fucking get
I was
clipped.
talking about the Gorilla Mum, bro.
They all get clipped.
Search
bro.
Oh, yeah, but that's in the rain.
It's the Mumsy, mate.
search up Pum Gorilla Grip.
Why is that picture?
No, I'm looking at it. Tarzan's mother's Wookiee bad, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Search up,
Oh, bro.
Owe me 5 quid.
Search up Pum Gorilla Grip, man.
I don't know if you can.
Home Gorilla Grip, mate. What is this podcast? What are we doing?
No, but what I was saying is,
Just for fun.
100 people,
It's been 40 minutes.
100 people are gonna be like almost pushing each other and making sure that they that they stay
Winter
behind.
soldiers.
Do you know what I mean? I'm saying 100 people, they're willing to sacrifice their lives. Because if it's 100 random Donnies, mate, it's what I said. They're all gonna be backing away, pushing each other to go.
Don't talk
Okay,
about
well, I don't think we're gonna do this. You are wrong. The gorilla gets cooked by 30 people.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with the humans. If it's 30 of me,
You get taken in, and it's
anyway.
as his pack. He's gonna be his new pack of
So
gorilla.
we're now getting more into media news, I presume, right?
I have more.
More what?
More
Just-
gorilla?
let me go. More
no.
conversation.
Real
We're
question,
finished with the gorilla
real
now.
question
Final gorilla.
is you against 100 Latinos, man.
Okay, the next thing
I
that I
want
want
to
to
meet
talk
your
about.
padre.
So we're obviously going to talk
That's
about a
right.
bunch of like Marvel news and stuff that I got already, and like in that world. The last thing, well, it's not really the last thing. One of the things that has happened since we last talked about that I want to hear you guys' opinion on is what do you think about the whole thing about the Direwolves?
I was
getting
gonna talk
brought
about
back from
that.
Extinction.
Apparently,
Wait, what?
They brought back Direwolves.
So the way they did it is
Like
that
the-
they like
Arc.
Like our
they collected DNA from fossils, but DNA in fossils is usually dog shit. But they were able to collect some, and then they analyzed the genes, and then they edited the genes to match that gene. So it's not like they put DNA from one into the other. So they edited the
Of a grey
genetic
wolf.
code of a grey wolf to match the genes as
Of a
close
direwolf.
as possible as to what they had from direwolves, and then they use grey wolves like mother to birth them, and they were actually
So
born.
it's like
with-
99% similar.
Yeah, a lot of the genetic traits of direwolf.
Have you not heard?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have a picture.
like-
I mean, they're still like
They're cubs.
Cubs?
Yeah.
Is that?
But they're gonna
Yeah,
get
yeah,
and
so-
they're already huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they're cubs and they're huge.
Oh my god, we're gonna have T-Rexes walking around
But the
there.
thing is, they're doing this shit, but you can't cure cancer, bro.
So yeah, so
Yeah, we're doing this shit, but they're
Bro, cure cancer, man.
so
let's do posting. Oh,
well, also that's like
T-Rex.
it's,
My man.
it's not like there's one company doing
Yeah, I
all
know,
of
I know,
this.
exactly.
So yeah, so
They're just cubs. They're already huge.
so based on that, there was two things I wanted to ask you. The first one is
If we could bring back something, what would it be?
exactly. So, so yeah, so,
okay. Can you
so,
stop
so,
making
so yeah, so two questions. The first one, do you think this is good or bad? Like bringing stuff
great. I
back
think it's
from
good.
Extinction, because a lot of people saying it's going to be Jurassic Park,
Fuck
and they're
AI.
gonna
Bring it back.
and they're going to
Well,
take over
no,
again.
don't bring the fucking hostile ones.
No, but the thing is, T-Rex gone rogue. Bombing.
Nuke.
So that was the first question. If you guys think this is good or bad. But also, then you have to put the
T-Rex doesn't pay taxes. Nuke.
That's firing squad, bro.
There's
Let's
also
just
going to be the thing of like maybe they bring back diseases that we won't be able to cope with,
Like
and
the
stuff like
plague.
Yeah, but I don't know what
we were able to cope with the plague.
I don't know what they're trying to do by bringing fucking.
Well, it fixes biodiversity. Oh no, it helps biodiversity.
that. Yeah, so it basically like if
so I'm going fucking school, mate. There's a T-Rex walking beside
No,
me.
I mean like if an animal goes extinct, like for example the fucking blue bird from Rio de Janeiro, or like the white rhino, you can bring them back.
Yeah, but like, why are you bringing the
Bro,
fucking dodo pussy, bro?
Apparently the next, all right, it's in the next
So yeah,
so mammoth.
So yeah, some
Yeah,
That's what y'all can realize.
some
anyway.
of
Back to mammoth,
the
mate.
some of the ones that they want to bring
I'm
back
gonna bring back the mammoth,
is
mate.
Yeah.
Dodo,
You
the
bomber cart,
mammoth.
Mo. Do you know what's
Let
gonna
him list, let him
happen?
list.
It's Dodo,
Gonna
the
get
mammoth,
fucking
and the saber-toothed tiger.
So Dodo,
Oh,
mammoth,
I didn't know
and
about the
saber-tooth.
saber-tooth, but
Yeah.
it makes sense.
I'd love to ride one, man.
So yeah, so now
Oh,
my
this fucking
so
weird.
my big question here is
Yeah, bring the
If
fucking
you're able-
megalodon back, man.
if you're able now to bring back an extinct animal from the past, and
No, from the future.
and have it as
a
a
pet.
domesticated animal. So it's not like he's gonna kill you. Like
Your missus.
you're able.
My dad.
Which animal would you bring?
Megalodon. Imagine having a megalodon just in your fucking living room.
You're gonna die, brother.
No, because domestic. Fucking Brontos, mate.
A brontosaurus.
No.
Imagine rocking up to high school.
Bro, riding a Bronco, like people are like, "Oh, what's your car?" I got BMW. I got a Brontos, man.
They bomb it as well.
Because I was thinking like having like an animal you can ride. I think imagine
Oh, that's my way in the bedroom.
I'm the animal you can ride, man.
I love a ride.
imagine rocking up school
Love
in
a
a
ride.
Spinosaurus.
Isn't that the whole purpose of the missus?
Spinosaurus.
Calling my missus a dinosaur.
Not Spinosaurus.
Nah, not a Spino.
Give me like, ooh.
Wait, Spinosaurus, the water pussies, they can go in the water as well.
Yeah.
Mate,
Those are huge, bro.
Have you seen the thing that they keep on nerfing them?
Mate, give me.
Like with the whole historical things, they're
Oh,
saying,
I
oh,
think I've
they're
seen
actually like very fat and like.
Yeah.
small.
Mate, give me a dragon, mate.
That's not.
Is it
A
not?
wyvern.
A wyvern.
I don't think it does have been
real.
proven.
Just because it wasn't arc survived by bombs doesn't make it historical.
I don't think we found bombs.
No,
No, dragons exist. mate.
Loki.
Pterodactyl.
The thing is, I'm trying to like jokes aside.
Aren't dragons?
Wyverns.
No, like.
No, no.
mythical
They're mythical.
creatures.
Oh, so we don't know if they actually.
Are you
exist,
actually saying that dragons were historical?
We
mate.
don't.
What makes a T-Rex real but not a dragon, mate?
We have fossils.
The fucking bones.
Fossils?
They haven't found the dragon bones, mate.
No.
The thing is, I'm trying to think of like an animal that's like actually went extinct. So not like a dinosaur thing, but that went extinct. But I generally think my pick, mammoth.
No,
I think mammoth.
I think saber-toothed tiger is like insane.
Yeah, where are you keeping a mammoth?
Because
Didn't
I
the
like
elk
it.
go extinct?
Wait, that's basically
Or
a
it's
dog.
not like
mate.
an elk thing.
the
Something like
dire elk.
Mate, that's basically
You
a
just
dog.
think of arc or just.
Saber-tooth is a dog, mate. What's the difference?
Oh, it's actually cat.
that. It's actually a cat. It's a feline. It's a
It's a
huge
tiger.
So yeah, so
Mate,
like,
go
so, like,
tame a tiger.
but no, yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like,
Now, realistically, in domestic, it has to be like something like a dire wolf.
imagine like you know how you see it like in the motorway. Imagine looking in your rear view mirror and it's just a Carnotaurus. Just
They're slow as fuck, though.
Nah, give me a little Triceratops, mate.
yes.
You
Yeah,
want
I
a
think I'm sticking
domestic
with the mammoth. I think for science to have a mammoth around would be great.
No, Triceratops. Either Triceratops or a little Ptero, mate. Pterodactyl.
What about an iguanodon?
Again, those pussies didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
I can kill the mammoth and sell its skin for like.
Jesus.
Poor man.
You could have the
The
tortoise.
tusks are probably very.
Mm.
No, but like mammoths, I
Turtle.
think it would just be great to have them back.
But then again, we have turtles now. I
Yeah,
don't
but
have
I don't know if we have the weather for mammoths because it's so much hotter now.
Put them in the ice age, mate.
We have Elvin.
Give them a shave.
Well, they're figuring to go. Maybe the balls or
I
something.
don't-
You know, for the first time ever, there's more ice.
apparently the ice sheet grew.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Are we
Make climate changing
Are we
real.
climate changing or are we climate keeping, mate? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently
I see pictures of the bears all like
Those
dried
skinny
up
and shit.
and
Bro, maybe they just
Polar
went.
bears.
Yeah, well, start. Maybe they just went on a deep cut for summer.
yeah, maybe they come to point.
Polar bears are fucked though, bro. They don't.
They just have to be fucked
Bro,
up.
I'm
They're
gonna-
always on site.
I would love to monetize.
You know,
Monetize the polar bear.
I'd love to monetize the polar bear,
To
bro.
be fair, although if you told me an animal do you like to have as a pet, I always wanted a bear as a pet, mate.
Nah, now realistically,
What color?
Bro, bears.
So are you getting black grizzly or polar
Panda?
Grizzly.
or panda?
Grizzly.
the most
Grizzly.
aggressive. Of course.
No,
Okay,
fucking
polar bear is
grizzly.
the most aggressive.
The grizz. I
Polar-
thought it was grizzlies.
No,
No,
a polar bear.
they seal.
eats
They're
you.
like
Yeah.
alright.
Grizzly will attack you for like territory, cubs, all that stuff.
Polar will attack you just because it's
but
fucking
the
wet.
Grizzlies are bigger, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think-
I thought grizzlies were the biggest.
I
Have you
think
not seen the
maybe.
Kodiak grizzly bear?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What's the one that you
cocaine bear.
lay down and just put your ass up and the other
Grizzly.
one? That's a grizzly.
You make yourself look big.
Yeah, with polar bear, there's nothing you can do because they will eat you because it's the
How many-
survival.
how many-
instinct.
how many men- how many men for a grizzly?
For example, that's a
polar bear?
more. That's a better argument than the fucking gorilla
Mm.
for the 100 men.
I mean, there was once an argument who'd win between a grizzly and a gorilla.
The grizzly.
The grizzly would.
100%.
Because it's
Really?
Well, the grizzly doesn't have disposable thumbs.
You guys are glazing. Well, what the fuck is a gorilla gonna do? Fucking domain expansion.
You go like this.
No, bro, you just start going like this.
Grizzly, what are you gonna do? Just fucking.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but like, well, grizzly gets close, man. The gorilla just grabs.
Go check nipples, go in there.
The gorilla can just check the oil.
Gorilla just grab the grizzly and throw it.
Bro, we're talking
No,
about a
you
grizzly.
guys-
The grizzly's like double its
Do you
size.
think a grizzly weighs 800 kg?
To be fair, I
And
think
much more.
I think
No.
You think a bear weighs more than 800 kilos?
I
I'm saying
think
a bear
one-
weighs a ton.
I think one of me.
You think
I
a gorilla
think-
can deadlift a bear?
A gorilla can throw a bear.
I
How
think
far?
I think one of me and one of the gorilla would have the grizzly.
Now, me, gorilla, and the polar bear, I'm taking it.
None in the fight, though.
I was 270 kg. Shut your mouth.
You said 800, mate.
So that's
You said gorilla can't throw 270, mate. I can throw 270.
Yeah,
He'll
To be fair, but like,
No, the grizzly wins. It's bigger.
grizzly
It's more
wins.
violent, more stamina.
Yeah.
It's stronger, bro.
Well, I don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, the gorilla has fangs, deep fangs.
and,
mate.
you
And
just
the grizzly
think the fucking
doesn't.
grizzly doesn't.
Yeah, but the gorilla fangs are sharper, no?
No.
Oh no.
Girl is a herbivore. That guy.
For the coconut, bro. All they eat.
Omnivore. Technically an omnivore.
All they eat is
Banana,
banana,
bro.
bro. Give a shit.
No one gives- What are we talking about?
How are they so warm just from banana, bro?
They have because they have a
What
team.
if we bring our cousins, the Homo erectus, back from extinction?
Ah, I thought you meant fresquinho.
Thank you for more. Well, fun fact, you know pandas, like, I think it's pandas, like, they just kill themselves because they, like, climb
Same, bro,
bamboo
same.
and they just fall.
How are pandas not extinct?
Okay, well,
such a stupid
Where are
fucking
pandas
animal.
being extinct?
I'm gonna be honest. Pandas is the only animal that's supposed to be captivity. Like,
Anyway,
realistically.
so now I think we're transitioning more into media, right?
yeah.
Because I have a good segue into media. It is like a news thing as well.
Is it something that I have? Because I'm running this.
Well,
Whisper.
you're not running it. It's studio.
Whisper,
It's
whisper.
something to do with Studio Ghibli and
Oh.
the whole thing.
I have that.
I think it's a good segue into like more
Yeah,
media
yeah,
stuff.
so the
where,
whole AI stuff.
Where like there's been a whole thing
Yeah.
where like people use AI to mimic the Studio Ghibli art style.
Oh, and they don't like
the
it.
creator was like, that's an insult to life itself.
Yeah.
Just what you guys think about that. And I actually kind of want to link to like, because obviously that AI art kind of has literally no soul to it. That was like the whole argument. And it's a little bit like with our like stuff right now with pods. It's like there's also a lot of pods with like no soul and stuff. So it's just like talking a bit about that. And specifically what you guys think about the AI.
No, yeah, it's definitely. I was watching a thing the other day of like comparing a scene in one of the Studio Ghibli movies where like the character, I think it was a boy in a heron, that he was cutting a piece of meat, and like it took like for like a 5-second scene, it was like 300 frames.
Yeah.
Like the detail that is put into each individual frame. It's kind of like a claymation, like motion
34,
pictures
yeah.
with clay, like. The amount of
Pinocchio.
passion and effort you have to put into those projects.
Yeah.
It's literally you're pouring your soul into it. AI can't replicate
No,
that.
no, I agree.
The only issue that's been happening, AI is not at the point where they can make an anime movie, for example. But what they do is that they
hentai.
they change. For example, you can change on
heard that.
TikTok, like there's a filter where you can change to Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
So real life Studio Ghibli, and yeah, it's not the same, and. I do agree with what Miyazaki was saying, that
It's an insult to life itself.
yeah, because it's the same thing. That like, what's the point of paintings and art? It's not just what's there.
It's
Like,
the emotion behind it.
It's the emotion and meaning, and like it
Emotional.
changes from person to person. So AI can't replicate that, and
No.
I don't think it ever will.
Even if it could, I don't think
The only thing that might happen is not AI being able to replicate or get better at replicating the passion. It's us humans caring less about it.
But
and
don't you
being
think
more
there's also a lot of
complacent.
works even without AI that don't have passion? Like literally pods. There's a lot of podcasts that people just sit down and talk about. pizza.
True, but like
that you
Oh
can
my
have
God,
works-
about fighting a
You,
gorilla.
you can have like works without passion. And it's not.
but
necessarily
well,
bad.
yeah, but for example, even those, there's effort put into it. Right, even if once that passion, if the passion's not there, if the soul is not there, they don't last for long, and there's always an end.
So why are we still here?
My opinion, I've never really agreed with AI. I've never really liked
sounds
it.
like-
I mean, AI is extremely useful, and it should be integrated into society, but not in the fucking arts and crafts
I
area,
don't know.
and
For
not in
example,
humanities.
so from my personal opinion, for example, I'm a personal trainer, and now in the gym they have an AI personal trainer, right? Which basically does a whole thing and designs a training program, right? And just like with that, it takes away
Your job.
true, but also it takes away the
Blood on the table.
yeah, it's the you working with someone, you pushing someone, the motivation, the person. It takes the personal connection, right? And that's why,
It takes the personal.
Like, for
personal
example,
trainer.
but I don't
and
think
that's why not a lot of people use it.
yeah, but I don't think that's works because, for example, the whole point of a personal trainer is that like when you're like, oh, I don't really want to go gym today, the personal trainer's like, you're gonna fucking go gym, or like you're gonna eat that fucking piece of lettuce, right?
No, and that's- and that's
AI, you
the-
can just
And that's the thing the AI will
It-
never be
it's-
able to replicate, which is like, for example, the me calling a client 2 hours before to wake her up
Yeah.
so that she makes it to the session,
and
for example.
and AI can't show evidence. For example,
And also the training program they design just fucking dog shit, man. I'm not gonna say. Well,
not such shit about your competition AI.
no, and I've been fully honest about it with the people don't want me to promote it because now for our entry sessions we have to promote it, and I'm honest with the clients, I'm honest with the people.
Yeah, right.
Simply because it is my job and I dedicate and I put hard work onto it, so you will
Also,
never.
ChatGPT can't like help you in a moment, like with your form and stuff.
It can't. But it can.
How?
It can. It can't.
Well, I would like
Can show you, like,
images.
videos.
Yeah.
Like
Picture
even
images,
for example,
guide you to-
a good example that I have is to do the lat exercise with the cables. Like that, I've always found that very difficult, and I searched up videos on TikTok and stuff how to do it. I was only able to do it when a guy in person showed me how to do it.
The only thing.
Loser, mate.
Yeah,
The
what a
only
fucking
thing
loser.
that I like about the
I agree with
kids.
them. No, okay, man,
Because
you are a loser.
the kid's very scientific. The kid costs like I can't say, but the kid is very scientific.
Turning into a girl.
The only thing that I like about the kit is that you can change how much the concentrics and the eccentrics weigh. So you could make so concentric is the
I'm very bored.
I'm pretty worried. I already don't give a fuck. Anyway,
What's next in the
what's next in the news? Don't give a fuck about the concentric. I know what it is.
I'm all fucking concave and whatever he said. All right, next. So
that's why you look like that. Man. That's why you look like that.
That's true. That's true. We're gonna move on to actual Marvel and stuff news. The first thing that I have is Spider-Man: Brand New Day, Spider-Man 4. A lot of news come out for it. It's gonna come out next year in the summer, July 31st. I'm gonna say a few facts that we have now from the movie, and then you guys can talk about it, say your opinion. Shang-Chi, director, is gonna be directing this movie. It will happen simultaneously to Doomsday. So it'll be like in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, which means it'll probably put Spider-Man in a weird and different version of his reality. They are saying it's going to be
More grounded.
more grounded, but they're probably going to make it in a different universe.
What do you mean
and
more
make it-
grounded?
Like more street.
So like,
Not universe.
Oh, I hate when they do that, man.
the villain that's rumored to be is Mr. Negative.
Mm.
And
yeah,
then,
because they casted an Asian bloke.
and then the last thing is there's been a casting with the
I have a
Stranger.
problem with that.
There's been a casting with the Stranger Things actress, the ginger one. I don't remember her name, but they're saying that she will be playing an MJ recast due to being a different reality and stuff, and there might even involve a plot line from the story
Isn't
where
she a bit young?
MJ is a sort of a hero called
Sadie Sink.
Jackpot.
I hope they don't.
So
do that shit.
because in the Brand New Day comic book, where like Spider-Man
I know Brand New
is,
Day,
is,
it's
is,
not
a,
very-
is a whole new universe.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on? And he meets a hero called Jackpot, and that's MJ. And that's when he realizes that that's not his. That something is wrong.
Isn't the girl from Stranger Things the one
Sadie
that
Sink.
So yeah,
dates the
No, we're not talking about.
Doesn't she date
the black guy?
what's his name?
Yeah.
the skater.
Yeah.
What's the name of
the actress.
No, the
no,
actor.
the black youth,
the-
the name of the because I
can't
don't remember any
remember
of their names,
No.
but it wasn't
Fuck.
Sadie dating.
I just remember 11, mate. That's it.
I think so.
But yeah,
I don't remember.
isn't she a bit young to?
Not
Not
anymore.
anymore,
bro.
mate.
I mean, compare with Tom Holland. Yeah, I think Tom Holland is like 26,
And she's
27,
what, 16?
and she's like 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
God, it's a bit old.
Yeah,
What? I can say I'm 18.
Yeah.
Even 18's a bit old.
All right.
So what do you guys think about that?
I dropped my mind.
Well, Brand New Day was very well. It wasn't taken
Well, it was a shit comic. book,
by Spider-Man fans. So
he gave his wife to the devil.
yeah.
He was tired of
But it
marriage.
makes the deal with Mephisto being like, have my wife. So other people didn't like it, so I don't know why they would even like.
I
make
mean,
that
I think they're
movie,
just calling it, or I hope they're just calling it because that's like the same level because it's going to be.
There's no way they would introduce.
Honestly,
no, they're not going to do that. But it's going to be like a new start for
Honestly,
Spider-Man.
I don't know. I'll see. All I want to see is more of a street grounded kind of a thing. We're still doing multiverses, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If they do MJ being the villain Jackpot, I will
No,
leave the cinema.
it's not a villain. It's a superhero.
Or superhero. I'll still leave the cinema. Because I no. I
want Peter to be alone.
Wait. So you don't like MJ being like a superhero type character?
No,
Yeah, no.
she's a woman.
Do you know what's?
Well, no, because I actually love Spider-Gwen, so it's not even that.
Do you know what's happening recently in the comics?
I
Mary Jane is the new Venom.
Is she?
I've seen that.
I've seen her.
And it's just all over the place. It's like Mary Jane getting married to the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
make
like, there's
sense.
like a picture of her in the sofa, and then the Venom symbiote just with the
fucking-
hand
yeah,
over.
fucking
It doesn't make
widespread.
sense. Bro, she's getting all 19 inches of Venom,
No,
bro.
like,
actually
don't get me wrong. Like, I love Spider-Man.
She's making the 19 inches of
yeah,
Venom.
but no one likes the comics for a reason anymore. Like, of Spider-Man.
Like I've said before,
It's technically separate. It's not.
Like I've said
it's her own
before.
comic.
I'm no longer excited for any Marvel shit, man.
That's not true.
Well, that's not happening
That's-
in the movie.
No, but I'm saying like until I watch a film that only Marvel stuff that I'm actually excited for is any Miles
But apparently
Morales.
Thunderbolts quite good, you know.
Well,
I've-
we'll
I've
see.
heard good
We'll
things.
see, I
I've heard
guess.
Check back
Yeah.
into later this
Yeah.
episode because we'll
But
be
the
reviewing.
only Marvel
And
thing,
this is going to be straight after this.
Yeah.
the only Marvel thing that I'm ever excited to like watch, to be like, yo, I actually want to watch that, is any of the Miles Morales films.
No Daredevil.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
No Daredevil, no.
But now, not excited for that. Daredevil, I wasn't excited for it, and because the season was good, now I'm like,
Which
yo.
we'll also review in a later
Yeah.
episode. We
I'll-
reviewed the half
yeah.
of it, but
But because the season was good, I'm excited for the future one. But for any Marvel stuff, you're gonna give me another Captain America one.
So at the point we're filming this, the full season is out. Check in for next episode. We're going to be reviewing the whole season as a whole.
but yeah. So if they make MJ into the superior jackpot or whatever it is, I'll be like, that's a very stupid.
I mean,
writing decision.
as long as it's not
The whole problem with Tom Holland Spider-Man is always he's never been able to stand by himself.
that is
He's
true.
always getting
And
outshined in
if
his own
when
movies.
finally he is by himself, they throw in MJ as a superhero.
Yeah.
I love Spider-Gwen and I love that idea. MJ, don't.
Yeah,
There's no
there's,
need.
there's specifically at this point, there's just not a need. Peter needs to be alone.
You need a good non-powered side character to complement a powered.
Because the thing is, it's like at the end of No Way Home, the
example-
whole thing is that everyone forgot Peter, right? And he had to make that decision. Now, if there's an MJ that's a superhero as well, they can relate to him. He's not alone anymore. It takes away the whole pressure of him being like, make everyone
So, yeah, but
forget.
then again, this is all rumors. We don't know any of it.
Yeah.
True.
Don't think that's
They're
confirmed.
probably
It's the
gonna fuck it
director.
up, man.
To be fair, I really like the director.
They excel at
Who's the
that.
director?
The Shang-Chi movie
Mm.
director.
He was great crew.
It was a great movie, so I don't mind.
Wait, what? Sorry, what did you say?
It's the same director that did Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
I mean, I guess we
Shang-Chi was an
we
amazing
can
film.
move
No,
on.
I'm just saying I'll be surprised if they don't fuck it up.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll literally see because we have this.
Yeah, so true.
All right, next.
Yeah. So, well, going to from your point of like movies you're not excited about. Let's talk about Avengers Doomsday.
I have,
So-
I have something to talk about, but I feel like you might bring it up.
Avengers Doomsday is the one where
so,
they're
there's been-
bringing 500 million characters, right?
Yeah.
So there's been some news / leaks come out from it, but they're mostly rumors, and take it as a pinch of salt because these come from a comic book guy called Chris Claremont.
I think I
And
know.
basically, like he's related to the field. I think he's involved.
He's a good
with a
source.
movie in some capacity, but he can also be chatting absolute ass. So these are the stuff that has come out that he has said. Okay, could all be lies, could all be not true, but this is what he said. Robert Downey Jr. is playing 4 roles in Doomsday: Doctor Doom, Iron Man, and 2 unknown ones. Chris Evans is coming back, and he's also playing 2 roles: Captain America and Captain Hydra, the evil version. Elizabeth Olsen is also coming back and playing
Who's
2
that?
roles:
Wanda.
a good and bad Scarlet Witch. So it will be 2 separate characters, an evil and a good version.
Can you stop?
I don't know how you pronounce that name. Famke Janssen is coming back as Phoenix, the OG X-Men
okay.
actress. And then the last thing is that Psylocke from X-Men Apocalypse is coming back. And Wolverine is going to be in the show
Sword
and he's
Woman.
going to kill someone important. Those
in the
are
film with me.
But
Is it gonna be
You
Wolverine?
also
Is it
forgot
gonna...
a part. I thought you were gonna mention it, but I guess you haven't heard about it. Apparently, the plot of the movie is strongly based on the plot of the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Really? What, the game?
No. Yeah.
Also, that whole time you gave me an aneurysm because you kept scrolling down on the screen even though you were at the bottom.
just out of it. But yeah, apparently the plot is this same or very similar.
Well,
the
it
Marvel
involves
Ultimate
Dr. Doom and he was like all over the place.
Just so you know, at the end, Doom gets banished by fucking Odin in the game.
He does.
Yeah. Look, if you're
But
watching
he's not
this,
back for later game.
recreate Marvel Ultimate Alliance and make a good graphics.
It does. Let's stick to the topic. It does make sense because it seems that like there's going to be this version of the universe where like there's going to be evil characters, evil versions, and like Iron Man is going to be Doctor Doom, like the evil version. And so it would make sense if there were like evil versions of characters, like evil Captain America, evil Wanda, evil Doctor Strange, or whatever, and they're by the side of Doctor Doom. So it does fit with what they're going for. Who's like ruling Battle World.
With me, it's just look, when you send off a character, and I don't mean send off like quick death and then he might come back. When you send off a character the way that you did with Logan, the way that you did with Iron Man, don't bring them back, mate. You finished it well. You did the impact that you wanted. You're ruining the whole sadness that you gave the viewers by seeing a character like that go. You ruined the I love you 3000, I love you 3000, and I am Iron Man by bringing the motherfucker back. Let him be.
Things are only good if they
I
finish.
agree with him.
No, I just the motherfucker.
Things are only good if they finish. Like, for example, Uncharted. I love the series because they
Something
finished.
isn't good because it lasts.
For example,
Do you know what that is?
Something isn't good. Something
Einstein,
isn't
mate.
good because it lasts.
yeah, Einstein.
That's what doesn't even make sense. Something isn't good because it lasts. Oh, so it'd be good if it didn't last.
Yeah.
All right.
For example, and I know I'm relating it to
Vision, Age of Ultron at the end.
Oh.
But
yeah, I know that I'm relating it to anime, for example, but Cyberpunk, my favorite anime, only 8 episodes. If now, because I've heard they might be doing another.
David's coming back season 2.
If now they made it and actually David got put back together, spoilers, but got put back together, right? It would ruin the show. It would go from my favorite to like 15th.
Yeah,
mate.
but what if they're like he becomes a villain and they call him Dr. David?
Nah, mate.
Dr.
For example, it's beautiful the way they did it. Don't bring them back.
Say that again.
And I understand if you're doing a film, like I can't remember how it was called, but they come back. They come back from the past or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. The X-Men.
Days of Future Past, yeah.
And they get killed, but there's one that can bring them back. Whatever, that's fine. But when you give it an impact like you did with Logan, or what you did with Iron Man,
I do agree.
or even Captain America, to me, it wasn't as deep as Iron Man's. He just went back, had his life, whatever.
I don't mind
So
the
even Captain America, sure, but like Iron Man and Logan, don't bring them back. If you want to do Start Again, or
I agree.
I agree.
Everyone agrees.
We've talked about it a lot.
Everyone agrees.
This episode.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
know,
also
man.
saying a lot about how like the movie's gonna start with Doom already winning. The movie's gonna start with Doom have achieved what he wanted, like, and the world is fucked already. So you know how we had Infinity War watching Thanos win. This movie's gonna start at the end of like Infinity
So it's
War,
like having Endgame without Infinity War.
basically, and then we're having a whole movie after Endgame. Which
We'll see, mate.
I don't mind. Like, for example, there was some discussion about, we haven't seen Doctor Doom before, blah, blah, blah. That's actually the one point where I don't mind, because we hadn't really seen Thanos before Infinity War, and the whole movie was about Thanos.
There was post-credit scenes.
But that didn't
He
really
would
add,
showed up.
that didn't add his character.
Menacing.
No.
I don't know, man. You already gave me the
You
whole...
were making fun of him before.
You already gave me the whole thing of Iron Man dying and having Peter Parker have to deal with losing his mentor, whatever. Good, did it well, whatever. Again, let it rest. Don't bring... You want a Doctor Doom? Use a different actor.
Where's that from?
Huh?
Where's that reference from?
What did you say?
Let it rip.
Me and the toilet, mate.
There.
Correct.
Yeah, that is there. Okay, so...
Poor, mate. That's poor from you. You said you in the toilet.
What?
He said him in the toilet.
Okay.
How much more do you have?
So I only have one last one, and it's a small one.
We've been going for an hour, but
I know. We're gonna be close, and then we're gonna get started on the Thunderbolts. This is a little bit of DC news because we talked about it before.
I spit it at me.
The new
Spit it at me.
Batman
Spit it.
actor has been cast.
Oh, so it's no longer...
Wait, I think I know who is it. Is it Idris Elba?
This guy says Idris Elba to everything.
What was the actor's name? Parkinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Parkinson's the disease.
Oh, sorry.
So the new one for James Gunn DC Universe has been cast. I'm afraid to say it's not Alan Richardson.
Edris.
His name is...
I didn't want Alan Richards.
His name is... Oh yeah, wait.
I thought he'd be a good
His
fit
name
looks-wise.
is Brandon Sklenar, and obviously that's going to be nothing to you,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, because I love how they're
Brandon
casting.
Boy, yeah, I know who he is. I went to school with
Because
him.
I love how they're casting
We're
actors
mates.
that are not
Like, no,
which means they're casting them because of their fucking acting
Yeah.
skill. But I got a picture of him, which I'm gonna try to find.
Is that your dick?
So you're cooking balls.
Is that your whole shaft, mate?
Why is there a hash brown next to it?
Why are they both the same side?
Yeah,
Why is there big toast right next to it?
I swear I was it before.
Cock on toast.
Last podcast.
It's a bit of hash brown.
Okay, well I can find
Proper English breakfast.
Oh, the search of the guy.
Oh, there's who gives a shit.
Beans on
Wait, so
coffee.
are we even going to recognize
We're
it?
not. No, we're not.
Oh, I just missed it, eh?
But yeah, but
But you know,
Beans on cock.
This is it.
Oh, no, of course I recognize that guy. You went to school with him. No, I genuinely do.
But he hasn't been in any movies or TV
He
shows.
played a firefighter in a TV show.
Oh.
Can you give it to me?
That's gonna be Batman.
I don't know. So I see what this.
recognize him.
Can I see what this fucker looks like?
That's gonna be Batman.
But I recognize him.
And his first appearance is going to be in the the Clay movie. Is it Clay?
Clayface?
Clayface.
Again,
I don't recognize him.
I don't think he's
I
bright enough
recognize
to be Batman.
How do you
yeah.
guys not recognize him?
Oh, to be fair,
I do
get
recognize
Peter.
him, mate.
To be fair, look at that. He has some aura, but they're definitely
Wait,
going.
we've watched a film with him.
They're definitely going to go
Yeah.
for a skinnier version of Batman, which I don't mind.
Someone's outside. It's
Where's the door?
Our guest we're bringing the Batman actor.
yeah, he's gonna walk it out.
Our special guest
Follow
is
the podcast.
Debbie Ryan.
To be
Mate.
fair, since we're talking about like actors, obviously none of us have watched The Last of Us. I do really want to watch the show.
Season 2 is coming out now.
Yeah, I really.
You watch season one.
Like, I
yeah?
can't wait to get a PC because I want to do a Last of Us run.
Have you
Where I
heard-
replay the first, play the second, and watch
Have
the
you
show.
heard the rumors?
And you're going to stream all that. in
No rumors. I don't want to be talking about that.
And
It's
hours.
No. But what's the name of the girl?
Ellie.
People on TikTok keep on saying that she should be Buzz Lightyear, mate.
Yeah, people. That's like actually what I was going to touch on. People are like calling a lot of she doesn't.
Lightyear, bro.
No, I see. You see the egg from Shrek.
No, I'm actually Buzz
You see the egg.
To infinity and beyond. Crazy.
You see the egg that's like friends with Puss in Boot.
Yeah. They said she should be the live action of it. Live action Humpty Dumpty.
But
I mean,
the thing is,
I already don't think she fitted Ellie a lot in season one, but whatever. But
She-
especially in season two.
She is a great actress, but
especially in
it's-
season
the
two.
thing is, that-
Ellie's older.
yeah, that's
And
what I was
she's
gonna bring up.
active,
So Ellie, like, she's especially in the second game, it's more muscular. You know, whenever you.
I'll have to throw that on screen.
Yeah. I'll screenshot it. Send it to you.
All right, it's on screen. But yeah, so like, I get it. Ellie. Oh my
Oh, it's actually not bad.
It's actually decent.
Ellie in the second game, she's older, she's more muscular, she's no.
Yeah.
She's gay.
I think she's always been gay.
I think she's always been gay.
But
I'm joking.
I do think because like I've clowned, for example, on Sleeping Beauty. Snow White.
Snow White.
So, for example, we clowned on another thing.
You call me.
So it was just a thing of like, I do think it's just not warranted. I think it's what you said. She's a decent actress. Apparently, I have heard some criticism towards her acting in this show.
I don't know
And
how
if that's the
warranted that
case,
is.
that's fair. But I think how much bullshit she's getting just because of her looks, I think you're pushing it a little bit.
I didn't have a single criticism from her acting in the first season, so I haven't watched the second one.
My thing is just,
But
and
first
I
season she was
I
fine.
don't mean to be. But do you think that she?
I don't mean to be rude, but
do you think that she fits or looks like the character?
No.
I think it.
Like, I
she's-
understand what she said because I saw an interview. I saw either an interview about it.
I'll throw this on
I saw an interview about him, or it was either a because it is very mean how people are acting. on-
Bro, people say she looks like an egg.
Look, it is very mean how people are acting on social media, and no one.
After all this, just saying
And no one, no, and I don't agree. No one should take this level of bullshit. And I do agree with what she said that she left social media so she didn't get the hate. Best thing that she could do. But, and I'm coming from a point of just looking like the character. I just don't think that she looks like the character.
Yeah. Like
And
it's
like, not because of her
rudeness
looks.
aside, jokes aside. Even she can be a great actor, but at the end of the day, she does not.
in
look like
the
that.
first season, she looked closer than second season. I
To
don't
me,
think that.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
the second season, she's no longer a child. She's like Vi from
Yeah.
Arcane.
And to me,
Like,
it's exactly
the fucking
like the
Belt Walmart.
theater. It's exactly like the theater thing that Tom Holland did, which was Romeo and Juliet. The hate that she got, not deserved.
Do you know what he's on about?
Oh,
With
Juliet was being in
well,
May.
Juliet was
Well, easy now.
was like she wasn't. People said she wasn't attractive, and she was also
You see
black.
Farquaad.
So people.
Right, well,
No, she just didn't look like. She just
Juliet.
wasn't a very attractive young woman.
The thing is, I also think some people didn't like because she was black and Juliet's not. Well, I feel like that's not
No,
work.
the thing is, like
Like
for
if you're chopped, like that's the
I guess I'll throw it up on screen.
So big man, it's
send it
like
as well.
the hate. Yeah, I'll send it. The hate that she's getting. The hate that she's getting, not deserved. It's horrible, and people are actual. Excuse my French, dickheads. I was gonna say cunts, but I don't know if I can say. I said it anyways.
You said motherfucker like 3 seconds
Yeah,
ago.
but she doesn't fit the character, bro. I hate people
Like,
trying to
the
change
thing
that.
is, you say all that like 3 seconds ago. You
No,
said
but,
you were
like,
gonna
the
be
thing
Buzz
is,
Lightyear.
I'm all
No,
down.
it's
I'm all
people
down.
saying
To,
I don't know if this is crazy to say. She looks more like Buzz than she does like Ellie.
It's crazy.
I'm all down for a little jokey here and there, making fun of like, oh, this person looks clapped or whatever. Like, that's fine. But it's been so immense with her.
Because we're
The thing of it's like, it's not.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, God.
It's just not we are chopped.
mate.
It's just like
Hey, take your hat off.
realistic. Oh, it's my trip. Realistic. I just don't think it's. I think it's too much.
I think people always push it, bro.
Should I talk about it in the pot?
People always push it. Like,
Well,
it's in
you're
the-
talking about
be fair,
how Nolan Grayson gives bad haircuts.
we should already wrap it up.
Yeah,
We can,
yeah, let's just
move on to the
just-
the review.
Thunderbolts review.
Okay, so now we're gonna review the Thunderbolts movie. Our screening is a little later, so it's not the exact same time of recording. We got a little poster as well for free because it was like the opening weekend or whatever.
Nah, she looked at me and she was like,
actually-
"You look tough. Let me give him a poster." And I was like, "Oh."
It's actually decent quality to be fair, so it is appreciated. I'm actually gonna take a look.
I'm taking it with me, yeah. We have 4.
So yeah, so it is fresh on our minds, so we're gonna be talking about it. The way we do reviews is we go around, say our score out of 10, then we give a non-spoiler part, just our quick thoughts and non-spoilery, then we give a spoiler warning, start talking about spoilers, and then we put it on our own personalized rating tier list, which we made. It always looks beautiful, and it will appear on screen so you guys can see it.
Should we
yeah,
start
but
from there?
let's just start the review. Start over there.
Okay, I'm giving it a 9.
I'm giving it a 9.
Giving it a 9, possibly 10.
I'm giving it 7.
All right.
I thought about
7 is stupid as fuck, but yeah, go
now.
on.
I did consider a 7, but then I realized that the enjoyment I got from this movie was not worth just a 7.
Bro, this film has
To be
been
fair.
one of the best Marvel films recently.
Okay.
That's not
Okay, I'll bump it to an 8.
Because it's so tough. Like,
Marvel property,
bro.
bro.
You just was about giving a score.
No,
and
but-
you take it off.
We just started this shit.
No,
You made a fair point.
No, and my point was, I can see why you give it a 7. You're like, you know what? And I,
well, okay, so I guess we're off like
she mentality. This guy.
Should I start just because I was the one that was giving it the most hate?
Sure, remember, just no spoiler.
Yeah.
No spoilers. So, in my head, I was like, this film's gonna be absolute ass, mate.
We all thought
Because why are you giving a world-ending Avengers bumming fucking villain, mate, against pew pew people? So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be complete ass. But it was actually quite good, and that's why I bumped it to a
Is
9.
this like, can you
Without
spoiler
saying,
it,
so
like,
the
can
way
you
they used
tell
the
why it's
villain,
not?
they didn't use the villain the way that I thought.
Remember, careful spoilers. This is not spoilers.
He just said, I know.
We said this no
No
spoilers.
spoilers, yeah, no spoilers, no spoilers.
No spoiler review for Thunderbolts.
So, I thought they were gonna use the villain like they use every villain, which is like he's very strong and you need like same level of strength people to win. But the way they went about it, actually, I didn't think that was forced or anything like that.
The thing is, I thought it'd be a whole thing of like the power of friendship is gonna defeat the main villain.
No, that was.
That's what I was afraid of.
That was a little bit one of my cons, but it's a very minor con because the way they did it, they played it
Well,
well.
was it like how they brought up the name?
No,
I guess
it's
that's
it's more like I'll get to it with the spoilers. But
the thing,
yeah.
I don't think so. I think it didn't feel like it was a whole power of friendship thing because of the characters that were chosen to be in this.
It was also very realistic.
Yeah.
My biggest pro about this movie, which is one of my biggest con about Captain America: Brave New World, is the fact that in this movie, you've got normal people with no powers and just extreme martial arts ability, and then you've got a couple of super soldiers, right? And they fight an overpowered being.
Right.
Everything that happens in this movie with that being and with any other threat, with anything, is extremely realistic.
Oh, I
And
thought it was gonna be a con.
I actually said it was a problem. It's extremely realistic. Like, you understand, there's not a single character that does something that you're like, okay, that's a
And I
bit
thought, to add to that
superhero
point,
movie.
I really liked when super soldiers were fighting against people that don't have the serum. you could tell that there was a difference. It wasn't like, how is that motherfucker, a little bit like what we had with the
Captain
Falcon,
America
which was like, how is Falcon going toe-to-toe with the Red Hulk? Same thing.
Yeah.
I was scared it was going to be like, how is a normal human going toe-to-toe and winning? And even if they were going toe-to-toe, it made sense and it was explained.
It was very balanced.
Yeah.
Everything made sense. Some of the stuff that Red Guardian or the US agent could do, Yelena couldn't. But you do things differently. She do things
like
different
a
way. It made a lot of sense. There was no with this.
Go on, sorry.
There wasn't a single point in this movie where it felt that the action or that something that happened was unrealistic and that took me out. There wasn't a single one. Everything made
Would
sense.
the boulder part be a spoiler? I think, yes, that's spoiler.
That's just it.
And this one thing I want to say, which is another thing that we were all worried about, because when dealing with such powerful characters, and for example, you just mentioned Red Hulk, that was one of the main negatives of the film, because the power scaling of the Hulk was done horribly. I think the power scaling of Sentry was done perfectly.
Yeah.
I agree.
And the other reason why I know why I did actually like the film, and that's why I moved to 28, because I started thinking a bit more about it, was because how long was the film? Do we know?
2 hours and a bit.
Yeah. With the Falcon, I was counting down the minutes to go home. I was like,
with
Captain America. I was like, oh yeah, and I'm just gonna say, no spoiling.
It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours.
2 hours,
and
no
7 minutes.
spoiling. But this Captain America, 10 times
John Walker.
10 times prefer to the
To
Falcon.
be honest, John
the
Walker.
Falcon.
There was no wings. Well, it was definitely a plus in the film.
Bro,
John Walker.
For him, so much more. And then
Not as,
But not
as
as Captain America. As a
his
character.
He's good as this flawed.
if
character.
in the future his mentality changed due to being with the people or whatever.
He's killed, bro.
But Captain America doesn't have a rule that he doesn't kill.
To be fair,
Yeah, that's true.
But also,
But it's always been like, he
I'll
doesn't
say the same.
assassinate people
But yeah,
out
sorry.
the street, and
Fair.
John
But
Walker
what
did.
I was gonna say was,
And they were innocent.
Captain America, I was counting down the seconds for it to be over. I was like, mate, I just wanna go, honestly. I was only there because we had to review it. With this film, it was getting towards the end and I was like, oh, is it already over?
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
enjoyed
thought-
every bit of the
yeah.
film.
yeah, I think they did the Sentry as perfect as they could. I think the cast was very good as well.
Ooh, and how
Obviously, one of our predictions was correct, which we'll get into.
Sentry looked like
The Sentry looked
that,
amazing.
yeah.
I think the way they went about
Both of
even
them, both in Sentry and the Void looked amazing.
I was
Which
looking
I
at the void.
think FNAF should take a little bit of the Void.
The void looked really good.
But I do think, like, I get the whole fun with, like, power of friendship thing. But I think as well, the way you guys said, I think the way they went about it is exactly the way you have to do with Sentry, even in the comics.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, and of course I'm not going to say what it is because it's a spoiler, but for the only reason why I'm giving it a 9 is because of one major negative. I think everything else besides that major negative is near.
I don't
if
have
not
any
perfect.
major negatives.
I only have one, which I'm pretty sure we all know what that major
I don't have
negative
any
is.
major
Yeah.
And that's why I'm giving it a 9.
The only non-spoiler negative that I think I can say is that it didn't really stick the landing that well
With the ending.
with the ending. Yeah.
Ooh, with them become. Ooh, yeah, I know what you mean.
The
I know what
best,
you mean. Designer.
the best, like the movie starts off, like it builds up and then it starts off on a high and then it stays high throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, fair.
And then even when the climax is happening, it stays up there. But then how it concludes,
It felt a little, like, rushed.
it
almost.
felt a little bit rushed. I understand why they did it, and I am happy that they're linking stuff together to the rest of
Yeah,
it.
the ending was a little
And
bit.
finally, us having some sort of clarity about what is happening, what's the state of the world. But it did feel a little bit weird. Not weird, but it felt like it made sense.
It felt rushed. I know what you mean. It felt like for what happened in the end, and compared to the pacing of the rest of the movie, it felt like they just put that whole bit at the end, and it's such a big thing, especially if you watch the movie and you know what we're talking about. Such a big thing that to be just thrown there, and it's like
To be fair, we're teasing them a little bit. Should we just go straight to spoilers?
I say we do.
We
don't know much.
last things that are not spoiled that we can say. How do you guys feel about the action and the use of CGI in this movie?
Perfect.
I thought that not a
I
single-
think, like, especially the last, like, you see the weird, it's not really a dream sequence, but with Yelena, I think that action scene was
Yeah, it was really good.
beautifully shot. I think that was one of the best.
it did have great cinematography.
I honestly loved.
Cinematography.
I honestly loved the way Sentry looked. No, sorry, not Sentry. The way Void looked, the way he talked, the way he moved. It was honestly
because it
amazing.
wasn't just I'm evil. No, he was like the pure incarnation of
because
darkness.
Sentry was extremely comic accurate. Just a lot of people were scared he wasn't going to be, but he was extremely comic accurate.
Technically, the Void version is like a huge monster in the comics.
No, there's a comic.
Other versions also.
There's literally a comic where the Sentry, he becomes the Void. Like, he's literally the Void. It's
just a different comics.
It's literally him. That it's like
You're kind of spoiling, though.
as he's using his powers, it's literally what happens in the movie. His mental state just switches and he becomes the Void. And then like they can like
I guess
power them down in the comics. They can power them down or whatever and turn them back to Robert Reynolds. But it's like it's in his mind. I know sometimes in the comics they made the Void being this whole thing, but there are comics where it's definitely
And I would do prefer that he's not like
The thing is, I
especially
wanna.
with these.
Man, let's.
But, I mean, let's jump into spoilers. But I want to use the. I want them to use Sentry again. I know that you can't really use it. You gotta use them as a last resort. But
they will. He's gonna be in Doomsday, so I don't know exactly. So yeah, let's get into
spoilers.
Thunderbolts spoilers. We're gonna talk about.
Let's try to start chronologically a little bit.
I just want to start with my fucking negative straight away. I'm gonna be honest.
I was right. Taskmaster got
clipped.
fucking smoked.
I don't understand.
And it was even worse. I thought she was gonna get killed by Sentry, by him not knowing, and that's how we're gonna find out. She appears on screen, says one line, does like a few punches, shot in the
I
head.
don't understand why they did that.
Crazy.
What was the point of
I don't know.
having
They
it
were just
there?
trying to get rid of the character.
Yeah.
Taskmaster.
But why?
Imagine Taskmaster being in that team still. Like Taskmaster is such a cool character. For example, I like Red Guardian a lot, but I prefer Taskmaster, and I know more of Taskmaster. But since they
And why
introduced
Taskmaster go as well?
Because in the Black Widow movie, it was.
technically it's normally a guy, but I guess they
I
just
swear
changed.
you've asked this on the podcast before. We've asked
But we've had the Taskmaster, haven't we, against...
in the Black Widow movie. Yeah.
It's the same time.
Oh, didn't we have a guy one?
No.
What we did in the Spiderman games or in the
Why am I
Avengers.
thinking of one? Yeah, there was one in...
In the Avengers
In
game.
Avengers and in Spiderman.
No.
Because Taskmaster is usually dude.
Yeah. The thing is, I think the way they killed Taskmaster was horrid, and I think since Taskmaster's been introduced in live action, it's always been horrid.
Do you know? I also hate how, like, the use of technology in the MCU recently, how they use it just explain anything. How Falcon was able to go toe to toe, or Captain America. Go toe to toe with the Red Hulk, and they're saying because of technology, like how much of a waste is the reason Taskmaster is able to like copy people just because of technology.
Did they say that?
No, in the Black Widow movie, that's why
I
it's
thought
technology, and that's why she's only able to copy people with technology, like the vibranium claws, the bow and arrow, the shield, the Black Widow move.
That's stupid as fuck.
Like the Spider-Man swing is because she was
Wait, that was your big con that she died.
Yeah, the way they did it.
I think. Do you know why that's not a big problem for me? Do you know why that's not a big problem for me? Because I never cared about her in the first place.
I didn't either, but like the thing is,
such
they
a
just
cool
wasted the
character,
character.
right? Yeah.
But they never did it right from the start.
Don't make it show up.
I do understand, like, in the point of the movie plot, like, they didn't skip a beat. Like, if they, for example, if they had spent a moment realizing, like, for example, after Ghost killed Taskmaster, if they, like, whilst the time was running out, they spent a moment just, like, looking down at her and maybe trade a few lines, have a moment to like understand that kind of like they just killed someone that like they could have killed any of the others because they're about to team up and be close together, right? So have that moment of realization that like we are not good people or something like that. Just
They know that.
Yeah, it's a con. It's just I never cared enough about the character.
Yeah,
I think the character is so cool that could have done... Imagine a... Sorry, I forget the name. John Walker?
John Walker.
Imagine another John Walker, but like a Taskmaster. Mate, that'll be sick. Like,
Taskmaster's a cool character. My annoyance with it
like
is
I'm saying like
so John Walker becomes Taskmaster.
No. I'm saying
a
like
character like
a character like that.
you mean well done.
Yeah, basically.
You mean Taskmaster. You mean proper
Yeah, the proper Taskmaster, mate.
Bro, like I would have loved that to see Taskmaster done properly.
A comic actor Taskmaster is never working alongside people.
No,
like, at all.
No.
Bro,
but then, bro, you could,
bro, is truly a villain.
Yes.
So like, but I also don't see the point of if you want to keep
but
her
then
in the
don't
film.
put him in this film of Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Like it was literally just for the marketing, and already no one gives a fuck.
And already everyone knew.
I'm gonna be honest, and
especially when they released the whole cast of Thunderbolts
That is also a con.
for Doomsday. The only one that wasn't was Taskmaster.
What you just said.
Also, the one character that in the trailers is only in the same scenes and never seen anywhere else in the movie. It's like, bro,
Also, if you notice the posters, if you're going to your local theater or whatever, if you notice the poster of the Thunderbolts, specifically in the big screen, you can tell there's
yeah, the one where it's all of them like staring ahead is like a picture from the side with the shoulders and the heads. Like Taskmaster just like edited in. She's walking a different way.
It's just because like it's what you just said. Realistically, Taskmaster as a character would never work with anyone. Make that into a plot point where everyone's like, okay, let's not kill each other, and Taskmaster's like, no, I have a mission, and then they kill Taskmaster because of that.
I'm
No,
like,
no, little thing of like, oh, I just clipped him.
Yeah,
That's it.
because like realistically, Taskmaster, or at least comic actually Taskmaster, will be able to fight all of them at the same time.
Exactly. So make it,
unless Moon Knight's there.
make it their first. Make it. Yeah, I mean that is true. Make their first team up be to fight Taskmaster, and then there'll be a much
Get this
better
guy on the writing.
bro. Russo.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
It was
that.
even Russo.
Yeah, who fucking? I don't even know who.
Is that the same as WandaVision? Oh no, that's
I don't know. But like then it would be a much better death. You got rid of the character as well. It won't be as annoying.
I think we should go chronologically throughout the movie a little bit.
So
This is not really chronologically, but I will just say,
Jump to the end.
I said before when we reviewed Captain America, and I stand on business. I'll stand on business. John Walker made sick.
No, but we didn't disagree that John Walker wasn't sick. We disagree that he's a better Captain
Nah,
America
man,
than
I'll take him
Sam.
as Cap, mate. I don't care. Cap doesn't have to do
He is sick.
When,
he is sick.
when he's talking about what's the name of the woman? Not Vanessa, mate. The one that.
Valeria.
Yeah, Valeria. When
Valentine.
Valentine or whatever. When they're in like the Stark Tower.
Valentine de Fontaine.
Yeah.
When they're in the Stark Tower, and then he suddenly just pulls up his gun. And
No,
it's
but
like,
But to be honest, I'm glad that they kill, bro. Like John Walker was always reaching for his thing, bro.
Because
Yeah, but it's not like something Captain America would do.
that's not. You don't prefer Captain America. You just prefer USA. You just prefer John Walker as a character.
yeah, I guess he's like a Captain America by Punisher vibe.
Yeah.
That's legit his character.
I guess we already.
You can't be Captain America.
You can't be Captain
It's
America.
like saying, bro, I really like Venom, so I want Spider-Man to wear the symbiote suit all the time and kill.
fair.
Like, and eat people. It's like, bro, I'm saying like Venom doesn't mean
I guess we are going chronological because we were talking about Taskmaster and that's literally in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I think that like from then on, I think it was great.
Like as soon as it started, like, because obviously it starts off with Elena and showing her like basically in the mud, struggling with the purpose in life and all that stuff, especially comparing herself with her sister. But then so that was like the build-up, which was a few minutes, and then when they all start meeting each other, like the movie reached peak. Like as soon as they start interacting, the back and forth, especially between
Their interactions are so well done.
Elena, John, Bob.
Gotta love Bob.
Well, where did the Bob come from? Like the name? Because his name is
His name is Robert.
Robert Reynolds.
You
character.
you shorten Robert to Bob.
Oh, really?
I guess so.
Huh?
Just because
I
like
think that helps
Richard,
you a lot, no?
bro, you can shorten Richard into Dick, can't you?
I never understood that. Man, what's all?
Like was that Robert? It's also Robert. Bob. It's Robert.
Bobbert.
It's just not Bob.
Nick is Robert.
Okay.
Nick King Bob. Oh yeah, do you know for fact that actor that plays Bob?
What the
Sentry
as well.
He also
He's Bob in somewhere else.
yeah in Top Gun Maverick
He's
he
Bob as well.
plays a guy and his call sign. Everyone has like different call signs and different names. It's called Bob. And that's Bob on the fucking
Bro, the
helmet.
thing is,
So that actor just
bro,
plays characters called Bob.
I thought that because I haven't really seen this actor or anyone else. I thought that for him to take such a serious role, I thought I'll be a little bit. Bro, he played it
But
perfectly.
I'll tell you, it's better when they don't pick actors that are already famous and all. Normally actors that you like never seen the blood before, they do such a good like, they do amazing.
That's why I
Whereas-
wanted Doctor Doom to see someone else.
You know, originally, and I like because there was a point in the movie where they call him like they say that he's invincible. Originally,
Are you sure?
Originally, the actor was meant to play the Sentry. Was the actor that voices Mark?
I don't think it
Invincible.
would have been a good Sentry.
Do you even know?
Oh
what
yeah,
he
I
looks
do
like?
know the Asian guy.
Wait, did you just realize?
We talked about
Okay, he didn't understand what you said.
No, he did.
No,
I did.
did he? Wait, did you mean that the guy that plays Sentry was supposed to voice Mark?
No,
No,
the guy who
yeah.
Mark is supposed
Yeah.
to play.
Play Invincible, yeah.
He would not be a good Sentry.
Steven
There we
Yeun.
go, mate.
I think that's his name.
Yeah,
Steven
yeah,
Yeun.
that is.
We have talked about this on the podcast.
He's Asian though. No, but
thing-
Sentry's like white blonde man.
Another thing that like we kept.
Mate, they made
They kept male.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, what
I mean,
did he
but
say?
true.
Wait, what did he say?
Talking about the Little Mermaid, man.
Oh, I thought you were
What
talking
does
about what does absolute Asians?
That's why he's acting like that. He said, but he was Asian, and in the comics, he's white. And I said, about the Little Mermaid now, it's not exactly like the comics. That's what I meant.
Okay, I do think that they kept milking. They kept milking the Oscorp name. Like everything.
It wasn't Oxcorp. It wasn't Oxcorp.
No.
Then what the fuck were they
It was a
saying?
different name.
Oxcorp.
It was Oxflux.
No, they said
Oxcorp.
Oxford.
I bet you it wasn't Oxford.
They did say Oxcorp in the movie.
I looked at you and you looked at me as well.
I know, because the
And
first
then I
time
looked at you, and then you looked at me as well.
But
And then we made out
like
mid of cinema.
Oxflux.
To be honest, now he's searching this up. Mid cinema, people kept like between us, we kept shouting, being like, "Oh, he's here to meet a 14-year-old."
In the beginning, like,
before during ads.
We're not the people that make noise during the film.
during the film.
And also, there were like three.
There were three
people
This was a
there.
very late screening, so it was us four and then two blokes in the back. You know?
Yeah, it was like a 10:30, so there's actually no one there.
Movie for ourselves, rented that shit out.
Yeah.
On some nonchalant shit.
There was, I was waiting for the chicken
While
jockey.
researching that up. Yes, like overall, I just didn't have the.
Yeah, it's an Ox group. OXE group.
Oxy.
But they definitely said Oxcorp.
It
They said
sounds
Oxcorp.
like-
They rage baited me. What is
Well,
this?
it's
mate?
probably the Ox Corporation, and that's why they're calling it Ox.
I don't know.
No, because it's OXE. How's that Oxcorp?
Yeah, but
Because Oxcorp is OSC.
No, but it's definitely a different thing. But they definitely said Ox.
They definitely
But just to finally just touch and leave it there.
Touch it.
I honestly don't know why they literally had Taskmaster because we haven't seen her since ages away.
To be honest, she wasn't anything else.
They just want to put away the card.
Yeah, but it was away. I didn't remember her.
Yeah, but you'd have to address her again, I think. And they just wanted. I think they might bring another Taskmaster, like her brother
Yeah,
or some shit.
I think that's the reason. Is that there was
Why did someone like Taskmaster
There was-
died like just with a random blow or
there
something?
was
mate?
okay. I just thought this on the fly. What if like the next interaction these characters have is against the real Taskmaster that's like her father or her brother or her future son,
Could be.
and maybe he's the antagonist of the future.
I don't really like when they run through the
Or
whole
he's involved
family.
in some way.
Yeah.
Because
I want Taskmaster again, and I want
I
it
think-
done well.
I think we've talked enough about Taskmaster.
Yeah,
I think we need to. I
Beginning of the
think
movie.
Sentry. Apart from like the post-credit scene, I think it was they did.
Well, you're jumping straight to the Sentry.
Well, it's the major part of the movie.
Chronological.
Yeah, but I was thinking about it. Like,
Yeah, let's
where's
let's
that
all
other
go chronological, yeah.
Let's say you want to go first.
Well,
After Taskmaster, so does anyone want to say anything about them escaping prison?
so I do have something to say, which is Bucky was completely useless in this movie. Like Bucky did not fit at all. It's the biggest
great.
con that I have.
Really?
No, he was fine. It's all like his portrayal, but like he felt so
Out of place.
so out of place, and like he was almost forced in. I understand like what he was trying to do, and then he captures them. I
scene.
understand all of that, and then all of a sudden, like Valentine's secretary. Or whatever she is.
It was a secretary.
This assistant. Suddenly she changes heart and she's informing Bucky.
I've
what
never seen
information-
someone so indecisive, man.
And then it's like brother. I know it felt very forced just for Bucky to be involved in the story.
I do miss the old Bucky.
I think it wouldn't have been as forced if they touched more on his past, on the fact of him being like a
he
soldier.
could have been like. For example, he could have been the perfect guy to be the mentor of. And he has one line where he says that your past does not define your future.
Yeah, that's tough.
So he could be the one that like brings the team together more, but he just shows up and is like, okay, and then he just follows them around.
Yeah,
He doesn't have any
I
specific...
do agree there. Minor negative for me, but I do agree.
Don't you
he's
think
just there.
Bucky's a little bit too
but you're
tiny?
ready.
He's not the Winter Soldier anymore. That's the whole thing. But the thing is, the fact is,
He still kills.
Why are you giving me a side
Oh,
eye?
no, because like too tame. He's still on the same level as them. He bombed the cars
Yeah, but I'm
around
not saying
them.
that, like, not being like political, like all that. I think he's a little bit now too tame.
Because this was his whole arc throughout Avengers. It was him leaving the Winter Soldier.
Compare when he
Compared with everyone else on that
because
team, I
he
mean,
wants
like.
the Winter Soldier back.
I do no do. But you're gonna tell me the Winter Soldier will not fit a lot better in that team than Bucky now?
But he's not the Winter Soldier anymore.
I'm not saying the Winter Soldier that is
The
brainwashed.
thing is, Bucky fits so well with this group because they were all in the same stage he was, and he's the only guy that got past that.
Yes.
They're all still there. So he's the
point-
only way they
the
can
point
show
of
him a
this
better
team
way.
is not to stay as
Horrendous people.
mercenaries, killers, mindless. Right. The whole point of this team is redemption. What's the point if Bucky's still the Winter Soldier?
I do
It's
think, like, I do get it. What you
I
mean.
wanted him to wear the mask though.
I do.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
the mask is cool, but like
I
that's
do.
the Winter
I
Soldier.
do get what you mean.
Or though.
You can have a different.
I do get what you mean, and I do agree. He did feel a little bit out of place. I don't think it's like anything major because, like, you know a lot about Bucky and what he's been through.
And there was that line of him being like, "You can't get
It just felt we were just
It felt-
tagging
no,
along.
I agree. It felt a little bit like that, but to me at least, it wasn't anything.
For me,
It was minor for me.
a whole point is because of that.
I think they should add more lines to him being like, I understand because of my past, but there is a way
I think
to this.
overall he should take more of a mentor role.
I agree.
He didn't really.
I agree.
No,
I agree.
He just followed.
If anything, Red Guardian took more.
Yeah, it would have been better if instead of
I'm much rather if he
love
wasn't in it.
Nah,
Because
No, I
because
disagree.
he
presence was
doesn't-
so good.
His presence
It was good,
needed.
but it didn't add anything to the team.
I think it would have been better if when
it
they
didn't
all
add anything to the plot, any relations, anything.
Well, the whole reason why they teamed up in the first place is because he was like,
No, they teamed up before.
yeah, no, but he was
The only reason they went back,
Bob.
I think it would have been better
they
if
just-
when they all kind of like after they fought Sentry, they all like broke away. If it had been him that got all of them back together as a team instead of just, you know what I mean? I think that would have been more of like a leadership mentor role and not just.
Yeah, but that also wouldn't make sense like movie wise because he doesn't really care about them all that much.
if we had more time, maybe if the movie was a little bit longer, that
Just
we
a
could,
show.
that we could see him being more of that mentor to the other characters. But the pacing was really good. So
But yeah, my
I
biggest.
can't really
Dude, I
complain.
think
My biggest
Let's
issue.
talk about the Sentry.
My
bro.
biggest issue, which it's not massive, but I just noticed. I remember I gave this
It's not
guy.
massive, man. It's massive.
It's got good personality.
6
But
foot
I
eight.
remember I gave this guy side eye, which was when that massive like boulder was gonna fall on that woman. You've got winter soldiers, three
Super soldiers.
super soldiers.
You don't need all three, bro.
Bucky literally made a car fly just by having his fist there. His fist didn't budge. The boulder wasn't that big, mate.
It was huge.
Oh,
no, it
huge.
was
It
huge.
was a whole side of a
Yeah,
building.
But you don't need 3 super soldiers. You can do it with
Mate,
two.
I'm-
It was the whole side of a building.
I know, I understand.
John Walker's
no,
been
but the
fighting
thing
by
is,
himself,
no,
mate.
but I understand. Even though
be fair,
I agree,
Also, you got to think about the pivot because it was like physics.
I
It
do
was
that.
a big vault. It was a big.
I know,
It was a
corner.
horizontal
And
vault.
soon-
So they were
And
lifting from the
the
bottom.
whole car driving at 60 miles per hour, and him just with
But
his
the thing
fist
is,
there.
but no,
It's different.
but I
Physics,
Different.
mate.
But
It's
even
Different.
though,
he was using the vibranium arm.
even though I don't
Was he
want
not
to.
using the vibranium
yeah,
armor?
but he can't do like.
Also, as
Wait, no.
soon as the third super soldier like started pushing against the rock, the rock literally.
Yeah.
The thing is,
So it wasn't-
but even though I slightly agree with you, I don't want to take that scene away because that scene, like when all their hands are on
Yeah.
the shot of just their hands on
No,
the
that's
on the
cool.
boulder,
But I prefer
it's
if
like
it was a bit more of a.
It's the whole thing. These characters have spent their lives doing nothing but like serving someone else, killing for someone else, being bad people, being shitty people. In that moment, they were heroes and they were saving people.
Yeah, no, I like that. I just thought maybe make the.
And that's also one of my
Make
biggest
all the
problems
bigger.
in this movie. I love the simple things in a movie when a superhero actually saves people. And these guys are all anti-heroes slash villains slash like not great people. Like
Oh, the scene of her dad
like,
saving the little
simple-
kid and
yes,
then giving the
I
flower.
know, like them, like walking around the street,
And the kid gets
just
paid.
saving people.
Jesus.
It's like it was such a simple thing, and you can say, "Oh, other people have also been saved in previous movies," but it's always like a big moment to show off. Like some of these things you don't need to. For example, the whole thing about Captain America saving this family, I think it was from Red Hulk with a flag. It was like, and then he walks to the camera. It's like,
yeah, it was a
saving-
very
like,
superhero moment. But
and it's always
yeah.
like, big things. Simple things like moving people out of the way from falling debris.
Or when that Red Guardian throws Yelena and then she
Exactly.
just
No, but for
drops
example-
all the
Exactly.
trauma.
And for example, and that wasn't even unrealistic. But that's the
Yeah.
point that I made.
But with Red Guardian, they did shine a lot of light on that kid scene. But it looked so good when like he saves it from that boulder and then he's like Uriah one or whatever he calls it, I can't remember.
Michka.
They did, yeah. That was a big moment, but it was done well.
And even like to your point, when Red Guardian throws Yelena, it's not like Yelena did an unrealistic move.
No, she just grabbed the grandma.
and rolled away. It's like these characters are not acting like just because they are the main characters. They feel grounded. They feel realistic.
And the characters, apart from maybe Bucky and maybe Red Guardian and maybe Ghost.
So all of them.
No, Anthony Walker. That's his sort of possible player.
That's right.
U.S. agent and like Yelena, they had a lot of like exposition to their stories, but I just want to rewind a bit on the film because there's a reference that I told you straight away when I noticed when U.S. agent what's his
John Walker.
John Walker.
John Walker.
I was thinking James when he breaks the circuit of the prison.
Yeah.
He said on your left.
on your
Yeah,
left.
I noticed.
did he?
Always
Oh,
said
yeah, I noticed
when
as
he was
well.
running by.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't notice.
I did.
Yeah. And I like the fact that like the sentry can touch on their like memories and their
The sentry touches them a lot.
The sentry has like all the powers.
their void, and you get to see. The only one you don't get to see, which is also one of my cons, is that Ghost. It felt
Doesn't have
like
much
she was
story.
very much a side character. She had a few moments like
like Bucky.
lines wise, yeah, but she wasn't. She was kind of just there.
I agree.
Not
necessarily a negative for me.
Especially someone like me that didn't know who Ghost was or that she existed before this film.
She was an Ant-Man.
But her redemption arc,
Because the villain.
yeah. But her redemption arc starts before everyone else's. Like the whole thing of her coming back twice in the prison for them.
In fact, because out of everyone, she's the least.
She's also the one that killed the taskmaster.
She's the least villain that is shown.
So it's that there was a little that interesting part. What you guys think of the fountain?
The what?
The villain, the fontaine, or whatever.
Oh, the bitch.
The fountain.
I thought
the woman.
I thought she was a better written Amanda Waller.
I thought she was a great no fucks given
Yeah.
CEO boss. And the whole thing,
instead.
Woman in STEM,
and
bro.
like for example, she was so horrible to everyone, and then like she is extremely cocky, and I love the line where like after Sentry falls and like Shay's falling apart, she's like she gets the coffee, and she's like, brother, you can still make a mean cup of
That's the only
coffee.
thing that I was like, so the assistant was making a call to Bucky.
Sister?
The assistant. I said assistant.
He said
no?
assistant.
Oh, this guy's just thinking of his sister. Instead of making the call to Bucky, she realizes, and then when they go, "Where's the assistant?" She goes, "I've taken care of the situation," because she didn't know where to put her trust.
Well,
But then she was
I don't think
fine.
she realized.
No, she just she just had a word with her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
was that
they
it?
showed,
Like a bit of
yeah.
a threat. And I like how they literally show her, and it's a quick scene where you can see her piece together, being like, okay, Sentry's not becoming a villain, so I can use them as my new team and to protect myself politically.
Yeah.
I think that was.
Nah, she's.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think
just want to talk
She's like
that's what I was gonna say.
she's basically a Nick Fury. If Nick Fury wasn't good. No, she's like the Nick Fury character. If Nick Fury was not a good person.
I
The
think-
Nick Fury character for
I
like the
agree.
bad
I agree.
guys.
I think we should just start dancing around the point. We have to talk about Sentry.
Oh no, this is you actually.
I think we should stop dancing around the point. I think we should just.
I was like, I'm the Sentry.
You know, guys, I think it's time. I think we've been dancing around the point.
Shut
Let's
up,
talk
bro!
about
I
Sentry.
beg, man. You know, this is gonna be fucking 50 minutes, man. I see. We start talking about Sentry. Okay.
Since you have some.
Are we dancing around the point?
Sentry, like that whole scene, because realistically, Bob as Sentry, we didn't have a lot of, like with the suit and everything. That scene was
Do
enough.
you have any problems with the Sentry overall?
I do. Big problem.
A good thing I'm not.
Good thing he is not a scene.
Do you have any problems?
Sentry himself. That I didn't see him enough. That's my
Do
only
you have any
problem.
problems with the Sentry?
Not at all.
What's your problem with the Sentry?
How did he become like that? Like
The experiment.
they don't. Experiments wanted.
Oh, that's a common. That's such a common
But they
thing.
don't have to explain that.
Oh, they could.
It doesn't require, bro.
Listen, they give a zero
They literally
explanation.
said that the experiment was so intense that honestly everyone was dying.
If you want, listen, there's a whole big plot in the MCU about how difficult it is to replicate the super soldier serum, and that's the plot. That's the plot in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's been the plot before, and that's why there isn't a lot of super soldiers walking around. Only the old ones, and that's why John Walker was the only one that got it. So, if that serum was extremely hard to replicate, okay, how are they able, without explanation, to create a being not only stronger than a super soldier or like more powerful than a Hulk,
clearly was
more
next to
powerful
them.
than a god? But they weren't making that.
They were trying, but they
But they don't
failed.
explain. They could have easily put a line in or something to explain. Okay, we will experiment with, and
I
then
don't think it's that big a deal.
They don't
no,
think
because they were creating a super soldier. They were creating a super being. That was the
Yeah, they're
project.
creating a
That was the
super
Sentry project. So how are they going to do that? How are they going
They were just saying like crazy medical shit. Like they kind of addressed that.
I feel that's.
I
Like,
don't think they needed more.
I think you could have used like I don't know. With the Celestial in the Sea, we were using some of that shit.
The Celestial's hard.
Because if nothing changes,
Then
why
nothing
now?
changes.
Well, why now is the Sentry project happening? Like, what do they have now? Because they've been trying to recreate Super Soldier Serum and not being able to do it.
Yeah, it was just a continuation of it. They were just trying to create a being.
What's your negative?
On Sentry, I don't know what.
Now I was thinking
think
about
that's
it.
a big
the post-credit scene a little bit.
Yeah.
Because in the
Oh,
post-credit
I
scenes,
get.
he remembers that he is the Sentry. And technically, when Robert Reynolds starts remembering, and I guess like it's not too big of a con because he doesn't start using his powers.
I think it's because they told him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can't become it first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought.
What are we not?
But the thing is that fight scene was amazing,
Yeah,
bro.
but let me just
I
say
actually
this.
almost stood up out of my seat in the pool.
Only thing that I thought, which is not a big negative, but the only thing that I thought was, not a single person died that film. In terms of,
We knew Noah's gonna die, which is a bit of a con.
Yeah.
no, but I'm not even talking about the main characters. I'm talking about, like, we've got a villain because he ended up becoming a villain, like that. And yeah, everyone went into the shadows, and I got very scared when Yelena started stepping into the shadows. It was going to be like a power friendship kind of thing. But everyone came back, so there was actually no real like damage of the sentry.
Taskmaster didn't.
Well, no, Taskmaster
But
was.
why is that a problem?
It's not a problem. I just wanted to mention it. I don't know if I should consider it a little bit of a negative or not, because there was literally no damage whatsoever.
I don't think so because basically you can't kill any. You're introducing these characters just to kill them.
No, I'm not
You
talking
mean
about
civvies?
Yeah, civies.
No, but
right.
regardless,
civvies.
I'm sure civvies died in the fucking.
Civies die. They're just not gonna show kids getting collapsed by.
I do see what he means though. Like
It's all
there's
like
this
the
whole
Avengers.
thing of all destruction, and then everything
was
is.
fine.
It's the exact same like with symbiote stories where Venom spreads his seed all over the city.
I
and
get-
then defeats
I-
Venom.
And I know you were talking about how you love Venom.
No, but it's a little bit like, for example, with the Avengers 1. For example, the main Avengers, when we were kids. When that whole alien invasion. If you told me that the whole planet got invaded by
What's the name of the
aliens...
aliens?
They actually do say it in
the Kree.
The Creed.
No,
Isn't it
no.
Chitauri?
It's Chitauri.
Oh!
The Kree. I don't. What the fuck is it? The
It's
Kree is Ronan.
Yeah, it's the same thing as that happening, whole alien invasion.
just
They
said it.
saved the day, but not a single death. It was all fine. It kind of gave the same vibe a little bit.
That's
But I
fine.
also understand that they can't then put Sentry in the Avengers if he just killed 500,000
It's
people.
not even that. It's just like I compare it like if you compare it to a symbiote thing, like again, it works. Like I'm sure people died in like the damage of the buildings, but they don't have to show dead
They
bodies.
do
Yeah.
that a lot in the comics, where like everything is fine afterwards. Because then, like, you gotta then explain, like, for example, in Invincible, like it's a big thing afterwards how half of Chicago is just gone.
Yeah.
Right. It's a big, and then like in comics especially. With Marvel, it happens every other day, so like they can't really. Eventually, if that happened, like they will run out of people to.
True. I was a little scared that they were not gonna do like Sentry right, and like somehow he have these powers by controller or whatever. So, because before the movie, I watched a bunch of comics, real comics, right? I watched a lot of comics
R.I.P.,
on the
man.
Sentry, catching up on the stories, and just knowing about the character to actually be able to talk about it, whether they did well in the movie or not. So I was a bit scared they weren't going to be able to do it. But the fact that, you get that, how fucked up his head is, but you get Sentry, which is when he thinks he's a god, and then Void, which is the exact opposite, and how he can't control it. Because if he has access to his powers, the Void is going to
I'll be honest, I don't know.
And then the most important thing, he forgets. If he doesn't, I was scared that he wasn't going to forget. If he didn't forget, it would have, like, you can't have a Sentry like that. He has to forget. And I thought we were
The
going to
thing
do a
is,
thing.
he didn't mention he already had those episodes before.
Yeah, because the experiments.
Was it the experiments that caused those episodes? Because when you were talking to the Elena, he's like, "Oh, there's times I just forget."
No,
I think
he
what I
always
thought
had
was
them.
he had episodes even when he didn't have the powers.
It's just
But it
not
was
when
just
the powers
normal
are
human.
And I think
That's
they
it.
only had one episode before the film, which was in the lab. I think
thought
that
they were
was.
going to go with the thing of like everyone's going to forget. Because they also do that in the comics where everyone forgets, so no one reminds him that he's the Sentry, and he doesn't like really know what's going on. Because there's like a whole comic run where the whole world forgets that he's a Sentry, and he knows, but like every evidence is shredded, so he doesn't really have access to all his powers and everything. But as people start remembering, he starts becoming even more powerful because he remembers more and more.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm fine with people remembering, but he has to forget because if he remembers, he has
I
access
agree.
to the powers.
But that's
I
the
was
whole
kind of
point.
not like if everyone forget, because then you're just repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
right?
I'm fine with how they did it with him forgetting. That was the most important
I
thing.
don't know what looked better if it was the Sentry or the Void.
The Void, mate. The Void looked sick.
The Void, bro.
We had more Void than we had
so
Sentry.
much black on him.
Yeah.
That
And like it wasn't just there.
No,
he had
but-
like a black suit.
Bro, Sentry had literally infinity, mate. When they're all fighting him, and he's literally just waving him off, trying to stop him.
But
he just
that's
looks-
one thing because we mentioned power
And
scaling.
his
in
eyes
it.
start changing.
We mentioned power scaling and non-spoilers.
my pop
None of them ever stood a chance with the Sentry. None of them. Not
Didn't-
Bucky,
and
not Red Guardian.
I love the fact that the Sentry didn't even try.
Didn't even try.
He
Bro,
was just
dodging shit.
and then when he turns to Valentine, Valentine's like killed him, and it was like,
Nah.
okay, they don't stand a chance of nothing.
He wasn't even dodging. They would just stop and just stop. He would have let it hold hit,
For example,
or
who
the
was
infinity
it?
would stop.
Someone pulled out a knife or something and tried to stab it, and when it stabbed his face, it just broke. He just looked at it.
Yeah.
Bro, he just fucking overformed.
When he folds
I
USA's
hated
shield to
that.
fucking tackle.
Why does it say like
Why does it
that?
say
Why
like
does it
that?
stay in a tackle?
Man.
And then, did you see the promotion material in the credits when he's riding the big tackle?
Yeah.
So in the credits when he gets like the little cap.
Oh yeah.
Like they do like the promotion like with Yelena doing this and like regard.
Yeah, that's why he's riding a massive shield
like
tackle.
the
Why did it stay like
Yeah,
that?
like-
the magazine.
You're in the Avengers. Give him a new shield.
Don't die then, like, don't
It was such a minor thing,
US agent. No, because one, sure have the hat, but I do prefer him either
Yeah,
without
because-
the mask or with
You play the hat. I prefer
the helmet.
Normal
Or-
helmet.
And mate, don't leave him with a tackle,
And
okay?
I do get it, him like keeping it until the end of the movie because it
It's
just
just a gag.
happens. It just happened. It's not like they had
No,
time.
technically that was time. No, that was time
By the
after.
way, that's
That's the most
isn't vibranium, by the way.
It is.
No.
Oh,
No.
He's just hunking a piece of metal.
right.
Can a Sentry break vibranium? Because he was doing that to Bucky's arm.
Comics wise, yeah. But he wasn't breaking. If you notice, he was like the arm. He ripped it out of his.
Yeah.
Bro,
Because
I
vibranium
love that
absorbs all
fight scene.
kinetic.
That fight scene's got to be one of my favorites, bro. And then
That's
his
why it
eyes
has to be a
start turning
9,
golden, bro.
It has to be a 9.
In.
I've never seen a card. This is one of the Sentry's one of the most. I don't know if I'm gonna say one of the most comic cards I've seen on TV, but it's up there, man.
It's up there.
I would say it was an extremely difficult character to do.
I was about to say that.
It was an extremely difficult barbecue.
There's meat outside.
All right. It was an extremely difficult character to do, and they pulled it off. They pulled it off.
Smash out of the
I think
water.
it's time we throw it on the rating tier list.
Do you not want to
wait,
talk
wait,
about?
Let's talk about the post-credit scene.
Not even that.
Do you want to talk about the dream sequence?
No, yeah, I was gonna say the dream sequence was amazing. The way they
I
did
don't know, but because I don't know how long we've been running.
Yeah, because we also need to
Okay,
talk.
I'll be quick. The way they did it with Yelena, the way they did it with the whole helping. I thought it was gonna be a romantic
I thought it was good.
between Sentry and Yelena, but I guess I was wrong.
It's more like two people that
I
are in.
kind of would have preferred though if at the end when he was getting like filled by the darkness.
And they had to stop him because his first instinct was to fight the darkness, and he was just becoming.
Yeah, but that part was
That's
sick.
such good
but-
storytelling.
Yeah, but I would
The voice
prefer
was rage.
just rage bait.
Rage baiting.
But I would prefer if it was only Yelena hugging him, because I don't think the U.S. agent.
No, because all of them.
At first, she was just hugging him,
Yeah,
but
but then-
it wouldn't stop him. So
That's
they
just
would.
going out.
They were just pulling him out.
I had the same thought until I realized that none of them were hugging. They were just pulling him.
And the thing
No,
is, it's
just
such a
helping.
good parallel between Natasha and the Hulk and the Sentry and Yelena. Because Yelena is the only one that can understand this such a powerful character and she wants to help him. I know it's kind of like, it's not necessarily
No,
the
because
same.
Natasha wanted that whole thing. Man.
Yeah, she wanted to think.
She wanted
He's saying Yelena don't want
Even
both.
though that was barely addressed in other movies. They were just in one of the
Anyways,
Avengers.
let's talk about the post-credit scene and then put it on the
So
ring table.
first,
Some different-
well, it'll be the ending of the movie and the post-credit scene. They are the new
Avengers.
Avengers.
don't like them
They
as
are
the new Avengers.
I
But
don't.
I think that's
I
the
don't
point.
know. I don't know how official they are.
I don't
They're
like.
not. That's why there was the Avengers with
Yeah,
Z.
I don't like the comments. They like Bucky and the new Captain America. They're not like he wasn't able to talk to him because throughout the films and in Captain America: Brave New World, they've gone closer. But
Very-
now when Bucky's like,
That's
look,
fair.
I have this team and let's start the new Avengers. Like he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna do my own
that's
thing.
fair. They never hinted at any problems.
They never hinted any problems, and he should
And-
trust Bucky enough.
Yes, but I'd also understand it.
I understand, but like we're also talking about like especially if he should trust Bucky's word instead of just missing
No,
it.
I don't think Bucky's really riding for this team to be saviors. I think Bucky's more because I think that's the problem. Bucky was so like sidelined in this movie. He didn't really have much. He was such a great character, right? He had no sauce to him in this movie.
He didn't have a-
So I think
reformed all
like,
this.
yeah, but like at the end, he's just like, oh yeah, I talked to him. It didn't really go well. It leaves it open. We don't really know what they talked about. Bucky, you need to understand that Bucky, realistically, if they go follow story properly, he doesn't like. He is against John Walker becoming like a hero.
Oh, yeah, if you remember, they had the whole.
But maybe he sees something that this team can be redemption.
because
And maybe he doesn't agree with the whole Avengers thing. We don't know what they talked about. on stage.
They always hated on John Walker for no
The
reason.
ending, it was like the whole new Avengers. It didn't really
felt a
work.
little rushed.
I don't like
Felt
it.
a little rush. I'm
Yeah, I agree.
happy that they're establishing, because that's what they do in the comics, is that these are the Dark Avengers. Or they initially called it the New Avengers. They didn't advertise it, but it was Norman Osborn that was doing that, and they had like Venom and Dak
Oh, that
and
was sick.
Ares.
Yeah, but like that ends up like hella fucked.
Wait,
I
that
know.
is Duncan's Wolverine's son.
Yeah, but they become like full-on villains.
Yeah.
I know they're
Ares becomes good. though. He changes
they're
things.
trying to do that with this, but I think
Mate,
this-
not the Avengers, bro.
no, I'm fine. I'm fine with them doing that plot.
Yeah.
Really?
But make that the plot of a movie.
And I
You
like
know?
how they kept mentioning the fucking
Maybe
football
they're
team
just
named
setting up.
Thunderbolts.
I agree with someone.
I don't think like because apart from the Sentry, they are not strong enough to be the Avengers.
No, and they won't be. That's
There
the
won't be.
point.
That's the whole point.
But I'm fine with them being the bootleg Avengers.
For now.
But like, it ended this movie.
And
With
where's
such
everyone else,
a,
mate, by the way? Like the whole Avengers I know broke away, but like, where's everyone else?
What's everyone else?
Because they're still heroes, mate.
Quent is old. Wish.
and the death.
He's dead
Deaf.
as well.
Or has hearing
Cap's
issues.
dead. Iron Man's dead. Thor is in Asgard.
Hulk.
Man.
What
No,
is
no, Thor has a kid and is not living.
Yeah.
Really?
in New Asgard
ruined the
or
whole.
something like that, right? In North New Asgard.
Yeah, or like in the
Yeah, I stopped liking the
Oh,
Hulk.
because of Love and Thunder. Love,
Yeah,
that one.
I stopped liking the Hulk when he became so tamed as well.
I mean, the
He's
Hulk
always been
is-
tamed.
The Hulk's
Um, Just, I don't mean to hurt this up, but let's
Right,
just
there was-
talk about.
Yeah, let's-
Don't you want to talk about Fantastic Four?
Yeah, so so the first post-credit scene was them
I'll put
advertising a fucking cereal box. It's like what?
Oh no, but
Is
that
it
was
Joe?
just a
No,
quick
he was
joke.
trying to- he was
I
trying to-
already always wanted to be in the Weetabix box
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
And then the last
No,
credit
Fantastic
scene was
Four.
them being like, oh, something is coming.
Which confirms that Fantastic Four
kind of
the world
spoils the
is-
movie of Fantastic Four. That I mean, they kind of already spoiled in the fucking trailer. That Galactus is going to eat their world. and
What
they're
if
gonna have to
Galactus
move
will actually be a
reality.
threat and not actually do
So we know
something?
they lose then.
Yeah, their world's going to get destroyed,
Oh.
and they have to move reality. That's why they come to ours.
Or they are originally from our reality. I think that's.
I doubt it.
But yeah.
Because then where are they coming from? They're just in space.
Yeah.
Man,
So I
funny
guess
how that happened, and they were like, "There's no way, just spoil Fantastic Four." And I was like, "Look, I'm dumb about it. Don't tell me because I actually don't understand what I meant. This guy proceeded to explain for 5 minutes what I actually meant."
We're explaining it. So
yeah,
unfortunately, I hate when like trailers or things like that.
they've been doing that
spoil
more
the
now.
whole
For some reason.
Like, imagine how great it would be. You're watching Fantastic Four, and you're like, these are the heroes, you know, it's the Fantastic Four, and then Galactus just consumes
Especially
their
because
world.
also, I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
go-
everyone already knew that the reality
I
was going
didn't
to
know.
get.
I was going to go into that film knowing it's a
Well, they
superhero
need to add the
film.
Fantastic Four to the 616 or to this
Mate, I
universe.
didn't know any of
It's
that.
nice.
199.
So-
19999.
So I was
now
going
you
into
do.
the film
Now you do.
thinking,
Now you do.
oh,
You're welcome.
Good boy. Ready tier list?
Yeah.
All right.
So
So I'm giving it a 9. So cinema.
I say top good.
I say lower.
I am going to keep my numbers a 7, but
I say, brother, if you think about the movies you would put in peak fiction,
I
in
think that should
absolute
be it.
cinema.
Superhero movies, mate.
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
Like,
Well, you
I don't know
put
if
it
it
in
belongs
cinema.
there.
Mhm.
I think it's a clear top good.
top
No.
I agree with top
I
good.
think should be
Lower
bottom.
peak
Again, besides Taskmaster, there was no major issue. So
So there was
you're
Bucky.
giving it a 7 for no reason. What
Those
other
are mine.
Mate,
No, I don't
Being
think
the
Bucky
Avengers
was
was
one.
okay. Taskmaster was there pointlessly.
Yeah, that's
Being
one of my negatives as well.
The new Avengers was rushed.
Again,
That's,
well,
that's just
that's a
my opinion.
But
man.
I think all those like Bucky, he already has enough. Like he should have had more screen time. I completely agree with
he
you.
didn't contribute anything.
I agree.
He had no emotional beats. He had no.
But he did. Like when he had him tied up and he's like, you
Yeah,
guys
but
can't
that's
do
the
that.
only one. He had.
Yeah, I agree. They should have more, but I don't think it's a major thing enough for him. Like, yeah,
because Bucky's had screen
Like,
time. We know about Bucky.
that. Combine a little bit with Taskmaster, but I don't really care about Taskmaster overall. Is why I gave it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't want him to give him more time to Bucky if it means giving him less time to John Walker, Yelena, or the other characters.
I get that, but like then structure the movie differently because having a whole character there, such a big and important character, to just what?
Well, to be honest, you don't want Bucky to shine away from the others.
He didn't show his like opinion on the Sentry or on
Yeah,
all
they
that stuff.
should
It's
have
like-
had more screen time. But this movie, the Thunderbolts movie, mostly focused on Yelena and Walker, and then obviously there has like Ghost should have had a little bit more screen time or whatever, and a movie focused on the Sentry. And what they tried to do, they smashed it.
Bro, the
yes,
Sentry is so
yes,
awesome.
Winter Soldier should have some more screen time and more lines, like the one being like, "You guys can actually have a redemption." Yes, he should have more of a leader role. Yes, Taskmaster
Bro,
shouldn't have just gone clip.
I'm just gonna say
But they're
this.
still dealing with past
do we
movies
put
such as the
Daredevil?
Taskmaster thing. By the way, this episode's coming out before the next week. Tune in for the Daredevil.
I just want to say this. The plot was amazing. The character development of every character, including Bob, Yelena, Red Guardian, John Walker, was amazing as well. For example, John Walker, everyone thought that he actually had everything figured out. And then Bucky's like, yeah, your wife actually left you. And then Yelena,
dickhead.
no words. Yelena just looks at John Walker, and John Walker just goes like this because he's in the same position
and
as
then
him.
after when they're all going away, she was throwing strays, mate.
All their designs were amazing.
There were.
Sentry and the Void was written perfectly. The way they handled the Void was perfectly, and the performances of every actor was perfect.
And yeah,
so
it-
it give anything below a 9 is cool.
And the Yelena is a beaut, to be fair, mate.
Yelena's bad as fuck.
She is beautiful.
And it was the movie was really hilarious when it needed to be.
Exactly, and it was the perfect.
It
And
was.
you're dealing with such
It was.
important and serious things and putting humor perfectly.
Yeah,
it's
it
hard
was,
as fuck.
It was really good.
So,
You know, putting it higher than Daredevil then. That's all.
Sure.
bro,
Put it like that.
well, I think
but
this
that's-
film.
If you think of the rest of the MCU movies, I get it.
Yeah,
Bro,
fair. Okay,
and the thing
fair.
is, if I had to compare this film with Born Again,
No, Born Again's.
Well,
I'll warn from a 2-1 now.
Born Again.
Captain America: The New World, Born Again.
okay. A good thing you want to talk about it because our review. Tune in next week because our review for Daredevil Born Again is coming out.
so we're
next week.
giving it.
Our doorbell is ringing anyway, so
What episodes in ma?
yeah, it's gonna be a low pick fiction. Yeah,
that's
we're
okay.
the game. I hope you enjoyed our Thunderbolts review. I hope you agree with us. If you disagree, do comment down below. Again, just a little reminder to subscribe. That
I don't know
helps us,
why you
but
had
I'm
that
not going to be
opinion, but-
bothering you that much. But now we've reached the game section where we're playing GuessLink, which is a guessing game where we play a 2-set game. This is the end of that 2-set game. So the 2 losers of the first game, which you can check the episode before this one for the 2 losers, which was me and him, which was Ace Race. We are now in competition again, and they won, so now they're judges.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a loser between me and Pedro, and it's a pretty simple game. They have to think. Have you guys decided what it's the character?
We have decided our character.
So they have to think of a character. I'm with Tiago over here. Pedro's with Rafa. They're thinking of a character, and we have questions to ask to our individual partner. Whoever can guess their character in the least amount of questions wins, and it's up to 15 questions. So pretty simple.
It
just
caps out. Yeah.
Simple guessing game. Whoever loses has to do a punishment next episode, which you'll see on the thumbnails. Everyone's done. I haven't done any punishments because I'm not gonna say.
You want today?
I am normally the common.
about to jinx it.
I am the common punishment normally because life's not fair. But what you got to take in is life's not fair, but you make
All
it
right.
fair.
So, but yeah, hopefully it goes
That's
well.
what the gorilla said.
I hope I didn't jinx it. Hope I don't have to do punishment. But
Yeah,
all right,
let's go.
So let's hop on it. Let's hop on it.
I'm giving
I'll take it to the course then.
The fuck?
You don't have my vote.
All right.
Fuck you. Let's go. Who's starting?
Are you
All right.
guys being fucking for real? Am I?
No, you're fine. He just.
Who starts?
So you start.
All right.
I'll not go on to wait.
You count the questions. Is that what we agreed last time?
no,
Because I'm writing them down. So.
Yeah, true.
So we don't.
All
have
right.
to-
Is it superhero?
What?
Is it the character? Is it from the superhero genre?
Yes.
You sure you don't count the questions?
I mean, I'm gonna have to write them down. So
Yeah.
that's already.
You can count.
Is the character from a film?
No.
Okay. Is the character from Marvel or DC?
Yes.
Is the character from a show?
Yes.
Not yes. Not
Yes.
explicitly.
All right. So
Yes.
I guess I'll just
Just say yes.
I'll just
No,
swing.
just-
Is it Marvel?
No.
You don't have to give
Is
it.
it-
Charges of because
Is it superhero? Aura. Superhero genre.
it is a superhero aura.
Is my character in the Injustice roster?
No.
So I'm gonna assume that it's from a game then. It's from a game. Is it from a game?
Well, I need a question. You know how to
Is this character from a game? So not from a film, potentially not from a show, not from a game.
It is from a
It is
show.
from
He
a
said
show.
yes.
I said
but
yes.
he said potentially.
I didn't say potential.
Character potentially from a show.
I didn't say
Oh, but-
potentially.
This is my question.
The answer is yes.
Has this character been in my faction?
No.
Superhero.
Why do I have a feeling I already know?
You don't.
Whisper.
Well, I'm.
Is it Marvel?
Whisper so I can
No.
change it.
Hey, man. Just rage bait.
Change it on the spot.
No, because you know.
I know.
Unless we go for
Ah, but
Is this character considered like young? So it would be like an apprentice or from Young Justice League
no,
or
no.
Is it from DC?
yes.
From DC. Me.
this guy old or girl? Is this character from an animated show?
Yes.
Good question.
Is this character from an anime show?
No.
So it's not like an apprentice or anyone. So that kind of removes all of the because my head was like Aqualad for some fucking reason, but like it's not from Young Justice, so they're not young, and they're not going to be any Robin because that's like
I never said that. I said
psychic.
you said that no, they weren't young.
most Robins are young.
If you want to think.
It's still that apprentice type thing, and you won't be like anything like Beast Boy or any of the Teen Titans. So that removes like a whole lot of characters. How you doing over there?
Is it my question or is it yours?
No, it's mine.
No,
it's
no,
mine.
just thinking.
I'll just shoot a loogie. Is it a lantern?
No.
Is my character from Teen Titans?
No.
Okay. Is this character? Does this character have powers?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like a martial artist, or it could be, but it's not his main.
Here's my character. So I'm trying to think. It won't be any in the young.
The thing is,
in
he asked
the-
me if he has superhero aura, and I said yes.
Aura.
You're like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like from
Right.
superhero in general.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's yes.
Hero aura.
Also, the way he structures his question.
It's so fucking weird.
But you
bro.
also said that he's not from an animated show. So there's been animated shows of the DC. Oh, he could be a villain. Is my
I was gonna ask
is
that.
my character a villain?
yes.
Is my character a villain?
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna ask. We thought the same thing.
Because
No, they're
but still,
synchronized steps, man.
villains would have been in that show unless.
They're about to cause a blackout.
I don't know.
Joshua
I mean,
H.
I've had something pop into my mind again. I have like a very strong guess right now, but I don't know why I'm thinking this right now.
Whatever you're thinking, it's not. I'm telling you now, bro. You're so good.
I don't know any. I don't know any villains from the DC. I don't know any villains from the DC.
How many questions do you have left? I should have 7 questions.
Do they have powers?
Yes.
So it's not King Shark.
Oh, I don't. Should I just
Yeah,
throw a
powerful.
loogie, mate? King Shark.
He does have powers.
King Shark.
Yes.
Does he?
He's a walking shark, mate. That is a fucking power.
That's a power.
Really?
bro.
That's not fucking power, man.
So what? How about the power of breathing air?
Is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Was this villain in Creature Commandos?
Yes.
Oh,
I think I know.
Oh,
My movie was right.
You know, maybe it wasn't hard for a.
I'm fucked.
I'm walking in, bro.
I'm actually fucked.
Oh, bro, I don't.
I don't know why,
You're
but
fucking
I
good
just
at
something
this.
just attacked me just then.
I'm be honest. If I was in your spot, I wouldn't even go creature.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
fucked, man.
You're done.
Well, I'm not.
Was my villain
You're
in
awesome, me, mate.
Young Justice?
Huh?
What the animated show? Which
Which there's a
I don't. I mean, I don't remember.
Wait, what was your question?
Young Justice, my character.
mate.
No.
It's
No.
wait. If it hasn't been,
He
if
wasn't.
this character has not been in a film, but he was in a show.
Can I ask my question?
No, because it's my
Yes,
question.
it's
Oh, I thought you just said.
Well,
Sorry.
he kind of backtracked on it.
So the character's been in a show,
Yes.
I know. I don't know why.
but he hasn't been in the film or in the game, so it's not Injustice.
By the way, Danny's shooting, right?
You shooting?
No,
bro,
I'm not
fuck
shooting.
me. Is my villain? Does my villain look human?
Yes.
Is my villain from like the main squad of the Creature Commandos? Like obviously like hired by Amanda Waller.
No.
I already know who it is.
Is it?
Okay, I mean, I don't have to say it out
fuck,
loud.
man.
I think
you can shout it. You don't need to wait for the
no,
question.
because I don't want to get your reaction. That's
I also know his.
I mean, you can say it next time. You don't need to do the 15 questions.
Oh, he knows.
yeah, but I wanna.
You want to narrow it down specific.
Might as well.
If it's the guy I've been thinking about this whole time, is insane.
Is my villain a world-ending villain?
Arguably so.
No.
No.
I mean, what the fuck does that mean?
World ending
no,
would be
no,
can
no,
you in the
no.
world Omega
No.
level.
I mean, I guess. Not. No.
Is my villain Mike can become like formless and shapeshift?
Ooh. No.
What the
Oh,
fuck
I
are
was
you
thinking
Oh, you
Clayface.
think about Clayface.
I was thinking Clayface this whole time.
Oh, that would have been. How the fuck does he even think of that?
Bro, this whole time I was.
Mate.
Oh, it's fucking Frankenstein then.
Someone.
Or it could be the Doctor because he.
Wait,
Bad.
I honestly I can't remember any villains from the DC, man. Is there, mate?
You haven't even narrowed the show.
I might just.
You're doing quite bad.
Oh shit! Yeah, true.
Put over my fingertip.
What shows are there? They're DC, mate.
You still have a potential of pulling a loogie on this one.
You still do.
You just have to somehow narrow down the show.
If you narrow down the show with this question, based on your answers, you might get this.
You might, yeah.
You might get this one. Go.
Might be a 3-pointer from the moon.
What DC shows are out there?
You did say he wasn't the main Creature Commandos, right? I forgot to write notes.
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
remember.
It was my question. I have asked that
I
question.
forgot.
We got Wi-Fi, I'll remember.
Was this villain in the Young Justice?
You've already asked that question.
You asked me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I
I'm sure
backtracked
he has.
myself.
Also, is
No,
that
you have it. You have
asked me
us.
that.
Oh.
And you backtracked yourself because I'm pretty sure we answered because it
Was
was
the
an
answer
animated
no?
show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you,
Oh, it's
yeah.
not from an anime show, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
What's going on with you
You're just
today, bro?
wasting questions.
You're wasting questions.
Yeah, you wasting your life away.
Fairs.
Guess who's already going to be wearing a thong next episode?
You're gonna wear a thorn.
To you, mate. You're losing your punishment.
Bro, you gotta walk in, man. Before the camera fucking shit.
Live action show.
Yes.
Honestly, it has to be Frankenstein, otherwise.
But he's
Not
There's no DC live action shows.
a single one.
No,
There's so many DC live action shows.
Really?
Yes.
Don't help them.
I can't think of a single one, mate.
Not a single.
Can I? The thing is, the questions you asked aren't even good for me to.
Oh.
See, I told you.
The thing is, the fact that
Bro,
mine,
I have no idea how.
Okay, I'm thinking there's Arrow, there's Flash, there's Supergirl,
gonna waste all of them, mate.
And you have one question.
and I've got wait.
No, yes.
Did I cover all of them? I think so. Was this villain from the Flash show?
Yes.
Paul McCartney. Ooh, yeah, I
Okay,
don't know. His name. Lovely. I don't know his fucking.
It's my final question. Ah, man, it could only really be Dr. Frankenstein. There was no other like side things, unless like he's going for the princess as a villain. But like that's so gay. So I'm going.
Are you doing a question or are you
Question.
shooting?
Might as well.
Really?
I'll go Dr. Frankenstein. I'm shooting that. I'm locking that in.
Okay.
Because if he has one more question, he's gonna.
Can you clarify what you mean by that? By your answer?
Oh, maybe I should use the question then.
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
like, who the fuck are you on about? That's what
Yeah.
I say.
This
Frankenstein, the monster Frankenstein.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the actual guy that
I
made
thought
him.
so.
Oh, because I kept saying doctor, right?
yeah.
Oh,
So do I have to shoot
No,
now?
because he's a monster.
Or can you ask a question?
No.
No,
That's
he has to shoot. He has to shoot.
shoot.
And if he doesn't get it right, he's
So
cooked.
I'm thinking
Full name.
either Zoom. I think that was his name. Zoom, Reverse Flash,
I hope you get it wrong because this guy.
and what was the name of
That was
the?
just-
No, that was Zoom as well. I'm gonna assume that you won't go with Zoom because you would assume that I don't know the name.
I mean, I do think you're stupid, but not that stupid, man.
So I want to go with Reverse Flash, but I'm thinking, is there another villain that is quite? I'm gonna shoot and go Reverse Flash.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That's correct.
So you gave me fucking Frankenstein and you give him reverse.
Bro,
Flash.
he almost didn't get it. To be honest, there's also more villains.
Well-
Grods. Also, you know.
Well, GuessLink, round 2.
Well, that's that. I'm the first loser. Well, I think the other one fucking reverse flash against.
Yeah, but you got it.
And Wally and fucking Monster.
I got yours before I got Wally with
First time that is our punishment. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Please tune in for the next one because it's our birthday episode, and I'm gonna have to. Are the mics recording?